I knew you were messing with me. I'm not going to fall for it.
Welcome. Jacob, turn off your phone. Turn off your phone, because this is Feature Flashback.
I just got a text message.
This is Feature Flashback. This is a podcast where each week we flash back 10 years to see what was playing in the cinemas. I'm Colin Spalton, and with me as always...
I'm Jacob Sanger.
And not with us as always...
Martin Hay.
Yeah, first special guest.
I know, It's an honor.
Yeah, I know.
I'm excited.
An honor to have you on a very mixed weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I think one of my favorite things about doing this is all of the strange double features.
Well, it's great because, theoretically, all these double features you could have done in the cinemas.
Yeah. Should we talk about the present cinema?
I don't know, Jacob. You tell me.
Well, I haven't gotten to see anything recently, like new releases. I still haven't seen Doctor Strange.
Didn't you see Petite Maman?
I did.
I saw that.
Because it came out in like 2021 maybe, but for some reason they were showing it at the Draft House.
Yeah, it just got a semi-wide release.
Oh,
like
really?
This past week, yeah. Because I saw it at Austin Film Fest. It was kind of doing a big film festival circuit for a while.
I thought they were bringing it back, like, because I assumed it had already come out. But yeah, I saw Petit Maman, un film de Céline Sciamma, who did Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I have to say, I liked Portrait of a Lady on Fire, but I like this one more. It's more up my alley for sure.
That's a controversial. I don't know about controversial. It's a different opinion.
I thought this movie was delightful, and there's a shot towards the beginning that I thought was so charming, and was like, "This is genius. This is what the form is all about." Yeah, I just thought it was a super fun idea. I always like things that are like, I almost don't want to give away what it's about, but I guess I will because I can't really talk about it without saying what it is. But basically, it's about this little girl and her mom and her dad move out to this country house, and you find out it's because it was her grandma's and she died, and so they're cleaning out the house.
It's so sad.
It's sad. And then
that's what's gonna happen to Martin.
Yeah.
We're gonna go clean out Martin's house.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing after this.
Yeah. I'm actually a spirit. I'm not alive.
James, do you hear something? It's just us in here.
I felt like the podcast room was a little colder today. But it's because we're talking about this spooky film, Dark Shadows.
Oh my God!
Yes, very paranormal.
But the little girl Nellie then goes into the woods, and meets a little girl named Marion, which is the same name as her mom, and she finds out it's actually she does like a little time warp when she goes through the woods and is talking to her mom as a kid.
It's kind of like a Midnight in Paris.
Yeah, and I like that.
Like Dark Shadows.
It has a lot of like raid type energy too. But
yeah, I really got that from Portrait of a Lady on Fire. You get that feeling of that Indonesian action film.
Yeah.
When I saw Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and I said, get this gal a stunt team.
What about you, Martin? You see anything? You watch anything new?
I haven't watched a ton of movies recently, but I have been watching a lot of TV. Been watching Better Call Saul. I'm behind. I'm in season 3.
You're getting caught up.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll get caught up by the time the new season, before it ends.
You'll have time because they're doing the new season in 2 parts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, second part's going to come out, I think, start coming out in July.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have it done by then.
You better. You
Yeah.
better. It's so good. You haven't seen Breaking Bad, Jacob.
I'm on season 2 of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
You gotta hurry up. You gotta hurry up.
It's okay. I was also very late to the party. I got my parents into it. They just finished it. So.
Oh, wow.
I started watching Breaking Bad a few months after it originally ended. So I was 2013. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
I've been a fan for a while.
Yeah.
And Better Call Saul takes a long time to really get going.
It's definitely slower, which I'm fine with. But it really Breaking Bad, it totally grips you.
Yeah.
From, the first.
That
episode.
one kind of needs to because it's it's its own thing, or it started as its own thing. This people they have enough goodwill to push through a little bit. I did see Doctor Strange too.
Oh,
I guess I'm the only one in the room that's seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Yes.
I haven't seen WandaVision, so
I
feel like I haven't. I don't know.
I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
I think you'll pick up enough. You know what WandaVision is.
Cool. I mean, I saw Endgame without seeing Thor Ragnarok, or Infinity War. There's
Without seeing Infinity War?
No. Sorry. I saw Infinity War without seeing Thor Ragnarok.
Okay,
which
yeah.
apparently it picks up like right after.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
Literally, the end credit scene of Thor Ragnarok is basically the beginning.
Oh,
of,
yeah, it is.
So me and
the
the
hammer?
MCU, it's kind of just like, I tune in whenever there's like a special that I want to see.
Yeah.
It's like a TV show that like has
Yeah.
like some really good episodes every now and again that I feel like I should tune into.
Yeah, that was my thing because I remember someone telling me like it was in the last season of Game of Thrones and they heard like a big battle was coming and they're like, can I just like watch it like without having seen anything else? And I'm like, you can.
Yeah.
Like it'll look cool, but you won't like
None of the emotion.
know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like that because like the MCU is basically a TV show at this point, and this
Uh-huh.
one is a weird one.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
why I actually really do want to see this
Yeah,
one.
it makes some bizarre character decisions, I think, but there are some fun visuals, and I think honestly, it's just like saw it in IMAX. The big thing was just don't think too hard about it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just like cool visuals, weird action scenes.
So you don't think you need to like, because I've seen pretty much every Marvel movie. I'm pretty much like I felt like I was caught up. I haven't seen like Ant-Man and the Wasp, but
You'll be fine.
what I was worried about was that I haven't watched any of the TV shows, so I assumed I was gonna be.
I think WandaVision definitely. It's kind of weird because even because it mostly just informs what's going on with Wanda, but even then her character it's bizarre because her character feels so different from where WandaVision left off. Like it feels like a whole nother show happened in between that and where we meet her in this. There's just like a few things like in the setup that I think you'll catch on to pretty quickly.
Okay. It's directed by alumni of the pod,
Oh yeah,
Sam Raimi.
I watched Darkman this week.
Oh yeah?
yeah.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I think there's a lot of cool visuals. Stuff. I think it's a lot of things with I love Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, but I think my kind of personal qualm with some Sam Raimi stuff. Which by the way, his best movie is Crime Wave.
I still need to see it.
But I think like it's kind of similar to Doctor Strange, which is weird to say because I don't know how much like control he has over stuff like that. But it's a lot of like it felt like a lot of like really cool visuals, really cool stuff. But I don't know if the whole movie like kind of works completely all together. But I respect him for making a 90-minute movie and a movie that didn't have to be based on anything. And
Is that you're talking about Darkman?
yeah, Darkman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, like Doctor Strange is like 2 hours.
I was
one
gonna
of the
say
shortest
it's one of the
MCU
shorter
movies.
ones. Well, cool. Maybe I'll see it this weekend because my roommate is very excited about it. So maybe. I'll
Yeah,
see
there's some fun stuff.
Yeah.
I still need to see the other multiverse movie.
Oh,
that's out.
you haven't
yeah,
seen
I
everything
still haven't
everywhere?
seen that. I'm so behind.
Let's start a GoFundMe. Get Martin to
Yeah,
see.
get me to see it.
Get Martin
We
to
need
see
$13.
everything everywhere.
Yeah.
$13 in bus fare.
Yeah, which I can ride the bus for free, but cut that
Oh
part out.
yeah. Well, let me know. I want to see it again.
Yeah.
So I'll see it again. Let me
kicks
know when
ass.
you're free. I'm starting to get free now.
Okay,
that I'm
good.
done
I
with
have my
school.
last final tomorrow. So.
Oh, you still have a test?
Yes, tomorrow morning.
my
I have to
God.
study for it once I get
Oh
home.
my god. Oh, we gotta hurry up then.
No, don't hurry. I'd like to put it off as long as possible.
But yeah, so let's look at this week. What do we even have? Do you want to guess what number 1 of the weekend was? You can guess 2 more.
Is it?
What could-
What's that movie? Best Exotic Marigold Hotel.
Number 1, it went up $20 million, $200 million.
What a little hometown hero.
Hometown New Delhi. But yes, it's the Avengers. Shockingly low drop. It still was. Its second weekend was still over $100 million.
Wow.
It only dropped like 50%. Number 2,
Dark Shadows?
it is Dark Shadows.
That
Wow.
blows my
That's
GD mind.
Crazy, because I had never heard of this movie.
You'd
so-
never heard of it?
Not. I mean, I'd probably heard it in passing, but it never like registered.
Yeah.
Never fired the synapses. You know.
Yeah, we'll get into our history with it. But Jacob, do you want to guess what number 3 is? It's a one that won't leave.
Hunger Games.
Come on, man, think.
Think. Have we covered it?
Yes.
Think like a man.
Oh no, the lucky one.
No, it's Think Like a Man.
Oh!
It's Think Like a Man. In its third week, still making like $5 million.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's made $80 million at this point.
Yeah.
So you can tell they, we're already getting excited for the sequel.
Man, I'll tell you, I need to start thinking like an elephant because my memory's for shit.
And then we have Hunger Games, Lucky One, and then 5-Year Engagement, Pirates Band of Misfits, and then jumping up 262%, the best exotic marigold hotel.
Yes.
Wow.
Got
And
that
also-
Amazing.
word of mouth.
Yeah, well, it also jumped up 150 theaters. So. All right. So the first movie of the weekend, number 2 of this weekend,
Yeah.
is a little movie. It's called Dark Shadows.
Yes, sir. Tim Burton's Dark Shadows. Which I gotta say was kind of surprising to me because I feel like for some reason in my mind I don't think Tim Burton makes things anymore. I think he,
Oh, yeah.
so when it said a Tim Burton film, I was like, oh, he produced it, but he
No,
directed
he directed this
yeah.
one, yeah.
Ay.
Mhm. But let's go to our guest first. Martin, what's your history with Dark Shadows?
Literally like 3 weeks old, maybe. I think you told me about it when you were
I
talking
told you about it,
starting
like-
the podcast.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You told me about it like at Cabo Bob's or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
Great
like, I have
burritos.
never heard of that. Maybe it sounds familiar, but I know nothing about what it's about. Don't remember it coming out. So,
No memory at all. This was brand new.
I don't know. I didn't live in a town that had a movie theater at the time.
Not
Did
a
you
single
really?
movie?
No, I lived
Oh.
in LaGrange.
A wonderful
5,000
filming location of the Tree of Life.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that was a big deal. But yeah, it was like 5,000
Not
people.
a single movie theater.
We used to have one, but like a year before we moved there, it burned down.
Oh my
And
god.
it was never rebuilt. So
Wow.
yeah, no
That's so
movie theater
sad.
for me. I only went and saw a movie in the theater maybe once or twice a year.
Wow.
So
Do you
this
remem-
year,
Yeah. Do you remember
2012.
what you saw in 2012?
Dude, saw the Hunger Games opening
Oh, okay.
day.
Yeah. I believe that.
I was super into the Hunger Games.
Mhm.
So
You read the books for those?
yes, that was one of the first times. Well, maybe the second, because Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2 is probably the first time that I had read the book before a movie came out, and so I was like hyped for its like on-screen adaptation. You know.
That was Percy Jackson for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
So
So this was brand new for you.
yeah,
Uh,
I went in kind of completely blind, and I can't say I was disappointed in what I saw. It was quite a time.
Jacob, what's your history with
I remember
this picture?
I remember this coming out. I did not see it in theaters, I think because I feel like at least at this time in my life, like 2012, not present, I would kind of go off of my parents. Like, I don't think I went and saw a lot of stuff because I was like, I want to see this. I'm going to
Yeah.
see it. Besides maybe like, kids movie or something when I was younger. But like, and I was yes,
When you're
please.
15.
Please, can I see Minions? But and I mean, like, I don't know. My parents have good taste, so I didn't have anything to complain about. But I feel like they were like, that's stupid. Or like my dad probably was, because it was a show, what, in the 70s or something?
Yeah, it was a show in the 60s at least.
Yeah. Okay, so my parents probably don't, I don't know if they remember it, but like, sometimes my dad will be like about remakes or about sometimes I'll find like an 80s song that he hasn't thought of in 3 decades, and he goes, it was bad then and it's bad now. Which I feel like is probably what he thought about Dark Shadows.
Oh my god.
So I didn't see it in theaters, but I did watch it with my dad. As was a recurring theme in this podcast,
Yeah.
I watched it with my dad on TV months later, and thought it was fine. There are a couple things that I'll get to when we go through like the plot that have stuck in my mind since.
Oh yeah.
But not necessarily for good reasons.
Yeah, my history with this movie, I'm trying to remember now, because when I was like starting to get obsessed with movies, to a bad degree, and it was around this time, and because there was a feature on like the podcast app or whatever deal that you could have like on iTunes where you could download movie trailers the same way there. They like listed them with podcasts for some reason. You could download the same way you find like a video podcast, and so I would download basically like every new trailer. Because I was weird like that, and I just loved watching trailers. I distinctly remember this one because it was like right after the Avengers one that I watched a million times, and I distinctly remember in that trailer, like the beginning of it, you see him like in the Victorian time, whatever, and then he emerges, comes back, and he goes, check your head. He's like, what year is it? And it is 1972. 1972, and then like the funky music comes in. And I remember seeing the trailer and thinking it looked funny because I guess I liked Johnny Depp at the
Yeah.
time, but never saw it. Heard it was not good. So this is my first time seeing it.
Oh, really?
This is,
Okay.
a first time.
First time for both of y'all.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could not wait for this movie to end.
Not me. I'm a
Oh
Dark
my
Shadows
God.
lifer.
God, Dark Shadow, sweet.
I got excited when this movie first started because it opens on a silhouette of beautiful galleons on the harbor, and I
Yeah.
was like, the age of sail.
Oh, I saw that scene like 3 times because I started it and then I was like, wait, I don't want to watch this now. So I went and I played a little bit of video games. I came back, I started again. I was like, wait a minute, I wasn't paying attention. I forgot what he said. So then I went back to the beginning. I watched it like 3 times.
Yeah, it's weird with this one because I was like, oh, this is how Sweeney Todd opens. Another Tim Burton, Johnny Depp movie.
Yeah, I noticed another thing too, that this was Johnny Depp and Christopher Lee together again
Yeah.
since Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which was also Tim Burton.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and Christopher Lee has a cameo at the beginning of Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Mm-hmm. That one's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be up my alley. I like old timey shit.
And I think where this movie has had its spot in my brain has just been an association with Johnny Depp and Tim Burton collaborations.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's Edward Scissorhands, Ed Wood, Sleepy Hollow, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, this Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm missing one.
The Lone Ranger. Just kidding.
But yeah, this one just fit in as another one of those because it was definitely at that period where people were starting to get sick of like Johnny Depp just putting on weird makeup,
Just being a weirdo.
And,
yeah.
just being a weirdo on camera because it was like after this is after the 4th Pirates movie, the worst one. This is a year before the Lone Ranger, which a lot of people were pretty done with.
Yeah.
Except for you, Jacob.
I know. Well, that's the thing. I didn't see Lone Ranger until like a year ago, and I was like, "This goes."
Yeah.
And then all the cannibal stuff happened.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it, but I feel like I had like a McDonald's toy or something from it. Which, why the Lone Ranger?
Yeah.
Well, I remember because they had Lego sets of it. They were
Yeah.
trying
Weird.
really hard.
Just making
with the
Legos out of
kids.
anything these days.
Oh yeah.
Back in my day, it was Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's it. Not a single other one.
Yeah, City. That's
Lego,
City.
Lego Castle.
Yeah.
Lego Pirates.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tangent, but one time I emailed Lego, and I
Lego?
I emailed Lego, and I said, you know what, Lord of the Rings would be a really good
Oh.
series to adapt for Lego.
You getting
and
those
then
royalties?
I got a response. Actually,
got a
they
response?
emailed me back, and they said that's a great idea. I will
What?
say. You never know what's around the corner. And then, like, 2 years later, they're making
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings Legos.
Man.
So
Jacob
I like to
needs to
think
thank
I'm
you
the
for
one who
that.
gave
Yeah,
him the idea.
Yeah, you were fighting my fight because I've loved Lord of the Rings since I was like before I can remember because I saw the 3rd one when I was 4 and I already was caught up, so I don't remember falling in love with Lord of the Rings, but they didn't have Lord of the Rings Legos when I was a kid, and so
They came out for The Hobbit.
Yeah.
So probably around this time.
yeah coming up 2013. And so I would like try to make my own, and they looked really janky. But so then when the Lord of the Rings Legos dropped, and I'm in middle school, and that's like, I don't know, I had like
You're starting to get out of it. Or
Yeah,
like you're
it's like-
supposed to start to get
it's
out
the
of
age where you're like there's even if you're a fun-loving kid like me with some wonder in your heart, you're supposed to be growing up. But anyway, that I was like whatever, fuck that. I was like,
I got Lord of the Rings Legos.
yeah. And so I, over the next few birthdays and Christmases, and just like saving up money, I collected every single set.
Oh my God.
And
Awesome.
they're still in my room to this
Yeah,
day.
I've seen them. Because you have them in movie order.
Yeah, I
That's
have
awesome.
I have a scene set up in each one, and if you look around if you stand in the middle of my room and turn in a circle, you can follow Bilbo from Bag End to the Battle of Five Armies, and then Frodo all the way to and then the last one they made was the Battle of the Black Gate. Well, we don't need to talk about this. I was
This
like,
is how
well,
much
there's the Corsair vessel.
That's how much I don't want to talk about Dark Shadow.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather talk about Legos. For
Yeah.
3 hours, honestly.
They didn't make any Dark Shadows Legos, to the best of my
Damn.
knowledge.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I want y'all to guess. Having seen this movie, what do you think the budget of this movie was?
100 million.
Oh my gosh,
Jacob?
I was gonna say 20 million.
You think 20 million? That's a
Yeah.
big jump.
I know it's an insane amount.
It's $150 million.
Jesus.
This movie, this is ridiculous.
Movies were a mistake.
I was losing my mind watching it because I'm like, where did that money go?
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Well, the beautiful effects, of course.
Yeah.
The beautiful, few effects that
Yeah.
they have in this movie.
I will say the effects that they did have that were probably fully CG were actually pretty good, but they were few and far between.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what are you talking about? It all went to the Johnny Depp sex scene
Oh
where
my
he's flying
God.
around the wall.
Okay,
that
that
scene
scene-
itself cost $100 million.
That scene was goated, I have to
No,
say.
you'd have to pay me $100
That would have been
to see that again.
that would have been
That's
better
embarrassing.
in a better movie.
I know. I thought it made me go, man. Why aren't there more sex scenes in movies where they just go all out and be weird?
Well, because this is a children's movie.
Yeah, see, that
That's
was the-
so bizarre.
This
though.
movie is so horny.
That's
It's
what
just
I'm
the
saying,
horniest
man.
movie ever.
Yeah.
It's like the central plot is that he doesn't want to have sex with a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
going on?
He wants to have sex with a younger, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oh my God, can we just be? I'm gonna be Freud for a moment because Eva Green.
Eva Green.
Yes, yes.
Everyone agrees, beautiful lady, Bond girl. Although my friends might call me a liar if they hear this, because I have famously said that for my money, better Bond girls. I'm sorry, Eva Green. I think you're a lovely actor.
Well, she was a traitor.
That's
She
true.
betrayed him.
But anyway,
Traitor.
but the other one, were Josette and Vicky the same actor?
I guess so. It's Bella Heathcote. is
They
her
look the
name.
same.
Is that her name?
But either way, I wrote down, I was
Bella.
like, Burton had to lose his shit when she came into audition because she's got the thin white face and
Oh, yeah.
deep eyes.
The
She looks like the
perfect-
corpse bride.
She's the neon demon, dude.
The ideal Burton woman. Because I
Yeah.
mean, he has one type of woman that he has in his movies. It's Helena Bonham Carter, Eva Green, Winona Ryder,
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer, the kind of people that have you see a lot more of their bone structure.
Yeah.
and
High
they have
cheekbones.
big
and all that.
eyes. I mean, he made a freaking movie called Big Eyes. She
Yeah.
looks like she could play one of those.
Yeah,
one of those
she looks like a
paintings.
Big Eyes character. She looks like a Alita Battle Angel. But let me tell you, she wouldn't stand a second in Motorball.
Let's talk about Alita Battle Angel. A much better
I would love
movie.
to. I still need to see it.
Oh
but
my
Oh,
god!
it goes
so hard.
Alita.
I need to see it so bad.
Alita, I'll say, was the best experience I've had in 3D.
Wow.
Hands down.
Well, Robert
IMAX
Rodriguez,
3D.
he invented it.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much.
Robert Rodriguez invented 3D.
Yeah.
He invented
for me,
4D with
first-
Smellorama.
The first 3D movie I ever saw was Sharkboy and Lava Girl.
Oh
Wow.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like him and James Cameron are like the two. This is
and
so.
that's both of them on Alita.
Oh yeah, because I was gonna say I think the other two directors who are always trying to do new shit with their movies, technologically speaking. But
Yeah, they're pushing the boundaries. Unlike this Tim Burton guy.
I will say
this guy, he's stale bread.
Well, you say that, but it's the movie he made before this was Alice in Wonderland 2010. What are y'all's opinions on that?
Never
I
seen
think
it.
it's fine.
This era
I
of Burton,
hate that movie.
I know nearly nothing about. I think I've
Yeah.
seen Big Fish.
Big Fish was 10 years earlier.
Yeah, so anything after Big Fish,
yeah,
no opinion.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I
Is
know
that after
Charlie-
Big Fish?
That was
Yeah.
2005. Yeah, I think he made that
can't
one
know
right
what's
after.
going on.
I know Charlie and the Chocolate Factory pretty well.
I remember I watched that one a lot.
That movie rules.
Yeah, but I feel like
It's whack.
it's awesome. I feel like Tim Burton for me is like Edward Scissorhands and Nightmare Before Christmas, where she didn't even
Yeah.
direct.
Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Henry Selick crying in a corner.
But yeah, like this, I will say maybe now because we haven't had as many Johnny Depp plays a weirdo type
Yeah.
movies.
Well, for a reason.
Yeah.
He's doing that in real life.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into
His
that.
tiny,
We're talking about a
his
movie.
tiny ponytail.
Oh, God.
But I kind of enjoyed him in this as a vampire. I also just really like vampires. It was fun to see him be all weird and Nosferatu-y. There was definitely some Nosferatu
Oh,
references. Like there's a part, one of the first times you see him, he stands literally like Nosferatu.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought he was pretty good. I thought everything else was not.
Yeah, because it feels like this period, by this point, Tim Burton, it feels like Big Fish is the last movie that he, really cared about making. Like, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory still has enough, weirdness in it that at least feels like he was trying.
Yeah, but that kind of feels like the start of that. Like,
Yeah.
not sellout era.
Well,
What would you
it
call
feels
it?
like
The decline.
the comfortable era.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, I can make that. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Johnny, you free?
Yeah.
I will say this movie had like style. I really liked the PD and costume team went off. There were moments where I was like, oh, they like really tried to do something here, like some of the like Victorian stuff, or like when Vicky first gets off the train. I was like, oh, you're looking at a Tim Burton movie, but then they spent a lot of the time at the mansion. It was just kind of whatever. Like, and also that was I feel like it was trying to be a family movie.
Yeah, but then you have Johnny Depp and Eva Green having sex floating on a roof.
And also the titular, or not titular, but the family at the center of it is kind of the vibes suck.
The vibes in that house are
terrible.
horrible.
Yeah, that's awful.
It's just a family of horrible, horrible people.
Yeah, except for the little kid who's just chilling.
No,
But even
I hate
then,
that guy too.
he's barely in the movie.
Yeah.
I forgot he was in it for a point.
I forgot Vicky was in it.
Oh yeah,
She disappears for like
She does.
45 minutes.
She does. Well, because we're in. Okay, so let's just break down the basic structure of this movie.
Okay.
Barnabas Collins.
Yes.
Which I hate that he has my name.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, this movie, they go to Collinsport, or they found the town of Collinsport, and then his house, Collinwood.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you bastard. Spell with 2 L's, though, so you know he's dumb. That's the rule. But yeah, he's a man, travels over from England with his family, sets up a fishing town in Maine, very successful. Falls in love with a woman. There's the maid who knows witchcraft, who's jealous of him, puts a curse on him, makes his fiance commit suicide, and then turns him into a vampire. And then the entire town puts him in a coffin and buries him alive.
Yeah.
It's pretty metal.
Yeah.
For 200 years.
For 200 years, and then he's awoken in 1972.
Mm-hmm.
It's the year my dad was born.
And there's all the requisite jokes of like he sees a car and he's like, infernal metal beast.
Or this is like the McDonald's sign.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like Satan's name. Which
I
I
like
thought would
that
be a
one.
bigger part of the movie because they teased that like really early on.
Yeah.
I have to admit I liked the McDonald's scene.
And
I
it was a little funny.
Because for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of watching Dark Shadows, he's reading about
Don't.
he's reading about like Satanism and stuff because he's trying to learn about his witch nemesis, and so he's reading a book. It has this big golden M. And it says
I
Satan's
didn't
true
even pick
name,
up on that.
Mephistopheles.
Oh, yeah.
And then he sees the giant golden M when he comes out and he goes, Mephistopheles.
Because when he said that to the McDonald's sign, it sounded like my mind went to Cats.
Mr. Mistopheles.
The magic Mr. Mistopheles. Wait, so is he the devil?
No, it's
That's
Mistopheles versus Mephistopheles.
Oh,
Which
God.
might be a name made up for this movie because I've
No,
never
I
heard
think
of it
it's
before.
it's real because I remember thinking magical Mr. Mistopheles that it was weird that he was
Okay.
the devil.
I'm not really into black magic.
Yeah.
yeah,
Guilty.
Like some of
Studied
us.
Hold on, guys. I've got some blood-filled eggs.
Yeah,
I have to go crack.
I don't know
real
the true
quick.
name of Satan.
You need to be like Indiana Jones, know God's true name.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh wait, no, because he gets locked in the ground, and then we meet. What's her name? Vicky?
Vicky?
Yeah,
Victoria,
the-
which we learned is a
Victoria.
fake name.
Yeah, Victoria is a fake name, but she is coming in to be the.
Governess.
What is a governess?
It's just a fancy nanny,
She
I
hangs
think.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she doesn't do any work.
Yeah.
In the whole movie.
I know.
But she shows up there. They make it seem like she's gonna be an important character, and I believe she's played by the same actress as
Josette.
Josette,
Yeah.
Barnabas Collins' fiance, who led to her
Yes.
death. And so then when Barnabas Collins comes back to his family house, he sees her and is like, Josette.
Yeah.
And you think it'd be like this whole thing. And it feels like a complete afterthought. Because then, like, I swear to God, they don't have a scene together for like an hour.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
And
No,
then
you're
Because
totally right.
they have one scene where they walk together on the rocks, and then they disappear, and
Yeah.
then she disappears, and then I'm like, what is the story of this movie?
Yeah.
It's just like
it's all over the place.
it's Johnny Depp as a vampire, like starting his family fishing business back up.
Yeah.
Right. Which is about maybe 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then just being hit on by Eva Green.
And
Yeah.
the weird thing is
Oh,
this
the
movie.
sorrow.
Oh, so
It's
sad
like
for me.
Rear Window,
Oh,
where
yeah.
she's like, "Won't you marry me?" And he's like, "You know I'm a vampire." He's like, "You want to be buried in a box, babe?" I didn't think so.
You want to suck blood from an innocent hippie? You know,
Oh, so when he first wakes up, he kills all of the construction workers that dig him out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a cool scene.
I like that scene. That scene felt like actually cool, like actually
Yeah.
using the vampire stuff.
Yeah, and then I thought it was kind of interesting because he goes, "I'm not a bad guy," but he doesn't say
I'm
that.
just
but
thirsty.
he goes, "You could imagine how thirsty I am," which I thought was interesting. Like that happens in every vampire movie. Like there's or if there's a good vampire, he's like, "Oh, but
I eat
I'm
deer
gonna have to drink blood." Yeah,
like, Edward Cullen.
yeah, or Louis in Interview with a Vampire, he eats rats.
Oh yeah.
So then he goes and meets up with the family, and I guess they don't really he never eats anybody, but I guess
No.
the implication is that he is subsiding on Helena Bonham Carter's blood transfusions.
I guess so. Yeah, because Helena Bonham Carter also lives with this family. What is she doing there?
No,
She's a doctor.
psychiatrist for the boy.
She's
Yeah.
a live-in psychiatrist.
Yeah,
for
because the boy is
son?
so troubled, and
Yeah.
they keep talking about they don't have any money, but they have like they have 2 servants and a
Yeah.
psychiatrist and a governess.
Yeah, fire that servant who just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, they have an
Yeah,
old
sits
lady
in a
say, "Well, it's
chair.
like she's family at that
I
point."
guess
Yeah.
so, but
Not
just
gonna
like take
let
her off
it
the
go.
payroll. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I did like the jokes with her because she just keeps showing up. Just,
Yeah.
like, keeps dusting the place. Like when they're having all the renovations done and she's still just like dusting.
I really like the part. There's a part where Eva Green. I keep fucking up her name. Where she vomits Exorcist
Oh,
style on Barnabas Colin's face, and then the old lady comes by and like squirts his face with like bleach and is like very slowly rubbing it. It's really funny.
But yeah, a pretty stacked cast. You got Johnny Depp.
Mhm.
You have Eva Green, who I don't know if we said, but she's the witch who cursed him.
Yeah.
And has now continued living
Yeah.
in the town. Has built up a rival fishing business to challenge
Uh-huh.
his family's one, and is destroying them.
Yeah.
You got Michelle Pfeiffer as kind of the head of the family. Chloe Grace Moretz as her daughter.
Uh-huh.
You have Helena Bonham Carter as the live-in psychiatrist that everyone has.
Yeah.
You have Jackie Earle Haley, about I think like a year after Watchmen.
Yeah.
He's Rorschach.
Oh, yeah.
He's the servant. 2 years after Watchmen. You have others.
Old lady.
Old lady.
Oh,
we can't
and
forget old lady.
her Michelle Pfeiffer's brother lives there too.
I
And
don't know who that is.
I
Who's
don't know
that?
the actor's name, but he's in Train Spotting, I think. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
He also I
He
know
was a
him
piece
most
of work.
because I know him because he played Sherlock Holmes on Elementary for like
watched
7
Elementary?
years or whatever. I watched a lot of Elementary. But so he's a British guy, and I feel like if you know that, his American accent leaves
Oh,
something
yeah.
to be desired.
Mhm.
So
He's
is
barely
that
in the
was
movie.
that supposed to be Michelle Pfeiffer's brother?
Yeah.
I think so.
What? That's not her husband?
No, because
her
they
brother.
Then
None
what's
of them
what's
are
the problem?
married, yeah.
wasn't there like wasn't there like a subplot where he's cheating on her?
No,
No.
he's just a bad father.
Well, yeah. Well,
He's
because
like,
the hell, man?
well,
What's
no,
going
because
on?
it's established that because the whole family. You have Michelle Pfeiffer. You have her brother. You have the brother's son, who's a young boy, and the whole thing is his mom was lost at sea on one of
Yeah.
their fishing boats for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they say that Eva Green killed her or something is the reason.
Yeah,
that
Oh
they
yeah,
lost
the
at
yeah,
sea.
they
implication.
do.
That's just thrown in at the end. You think it'd be like then the kid would like
Yeah.
stab her or something.
Eva Green, we learn, is responsible for pretty much every death in this film, except for the ones that Johnny Depp just straight up murders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is a pretty high body count.
Yeah.
In terms of it. But you have Chloe Grace Moretz, who's like kind of hippie. Not really. She's just kind of
She's like angsty, like wants to listen to her her rock albums
Alice
and has a
Cooper.
shag carpet.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, you need to invite Alice Cooper to the
ball.
ball. It's like, I think I once knew an Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Is she still residing in this village?
Yeah, a lot of his being old vampire jokes were not super good,
Yeah.
but there were a couple bangers.
Mhm.
Also,
Name one banger. I dare you.
Give me a moment.
You have pages of notes, and
I
you have
know.
not one banger. In
Let me
that.
see if I wrote down any funny things he says. Oh, here's a good line that we need to get to, but it's not by him.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I mean, there's not really a plot to talk about in this movie.
No, it's totally all over the place.
It's so bizarre. Well, because, like, this is based on a TV show, right?
Yes. It's almost like this movie was adapted from,
from a
1,000 episodes of a soap opera.
Yeah, because I had just heard that it was based on a TV show. The most I've seen of the TV show was in Apollo 10.5. There's a very small anime part because he's mentioning that, like, in the afternoons he'd watch Dark Shadows, and you see like one clip that's animated.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was a popular show, but it did remind me of I've been reading a book about Gus Van Sant.
Yeah.
And there's a part in it where they talk about he had like a big commercial success, and the studios brought him in, and they're like, oh yeah, we've had a lot of success recently with like the Addams Family, the Brady Bunch movie, the Flintstones. I think they just had. And they're like, so would you like to, is there anything like that you'd like to reboot and just like go crazy with? And he just looked at them and said, Psycho. I want to remake Psycho shot for shot.
Isn't this like a family movie?
This is a PG-13 movie.
I guess so.
And also, $150 million PG-13 fantasy comedy.
Kind of comedy.
Comedy in quotes.
It's like sometimes it's like, sometimes it's Johnny Depp like dancing around the city, like, dodging cars and not wanting to step on the street. And then other times it's like, I don't know.
It's supposed to be like super gothic.
Right. He's like, killing 15 people in the woods.
Yeah. I don't feel like he needed to kill the hippies. There's like a whole like goofy scene where he's smoking a doobie, which he didn't even take I was like, it'd be funny to see him.
What a vampire high would look like. His blood boiling.
But he's just hanging out with these hippies talking about love, and then he goes, now I have to kill you all. And I'm like, why? They were like on board. Like,
that'd be funnier if like he was killing like more people around the city throughout the movie. And like he's leaving a blood trail, and then like he has this nice scene. It's like, all right, well, I have to kill you.
Yeah. There were so many things that I'm just yawning thinking about it, but there were so many things that were just like inexplicable. Like, or like I was like, this movie's 2 hours long, and there were so many things that y'all could have spent that time on that you didn't. Like I was
could have spent $150 million.
Yeah. I was like, what even is Michelle Pfeiffer's character? She's just like the leader of the house, but she's just lady. Like she doesn't have anything going on.
I thought she was like the stepmom, but apparently
she's
I was
the head
wrong.
of the family.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, wasn't Barnabas an only child?
Yeah, that's what was driving me crazy. They never establish how his family line continues.
Yes,
yeah.
he was an only child.
Yeah, how is anyone living in this house?
Like
how has anyone been living in this house for, like, what family is there to continue?
Well, I thought that was going to be a reveal that, like, because there's, like, David, like, feeling out of place and being into, like, freaky shit. Like, the reason he is a psychiatrist is because he talks to the ghost of his mom, and they think he's crazy. So I was thinking there was going to be some kind of reveal where it was, like, he was actually the descendant of Barnabas, and that's why they got along. And like I thought Barnabas was gonna like kind of take him under his wing at the end because he like sends his dad away, but then that didn't happen. But yeah, it was just like fast forward 200 years, they are the Collins. Like Collins. Wait a minute. And they're both in the northern part of the country.
Well,
on the different coasts.
It
Stephanie
is.
Meyer.
Well, yeah,
because
I was gonna say like, oh, Tim Burton stealing from Twilight, but Twilight could have stolen from Dark Shadows.
Yeah, true. Also, there was I feel like this. I mean, this is probably from Dark Shadows. I don't know, but from the TV show. But I feel like the whole thing with Josette and then Vicky is such like a vampire thing. Like I think Bram Stoker's Dracula does the same thing.
It really does with Winona Ryder.
Yeah. He was like, damn, that Francis Ford Coppola got to it before I could. Also, did anyone every woman in this is like helpless to Johnny Depp?
Oh my God, yeah. He's a fiend.
Yeah, including I felt like it was kind of incestuous with Michelle Pfeiffer. Like it's his like great grandniece or whatever. Yeah. And I feel like every scene they were in, I was like, what's going on? Like
very strange vibes from everyone. This movie.
This movie's so horny.
It's
talk about that.
It's like
there's nothing else to talk about.
No,
it's so horny.
It's a movie about a woman being so horny she's going to destroy someone's family in order to
Uh-huh.
get
She's
with
so horny for this
goth
guy that
guy.
she turns him into a vampire.
Yeah. And also, and they don't explain how she can live forever. I guess if you're a witch, you
Just,
can live forever.
magic spell. And her like skin is like glass.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Which it looked kind of cool, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, apparently the rules for turning someone into a vampire in this universe
like
is
cast
just
a
a
spell.
witch does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
But then he still, so then it still has other classic vampire rules, like Helena Bonham Carter becomes a vampire by taking some of his blood.
right.
And then
He bites her. Because he
Well,
bites
but-
her when he kills her.
Yeah, but I think she was using it to
She was
become
trying
immortal,
to.
like because she already had the fangs when he bit her.
Did she? I couldn't
Yeah,
tell
she
if that. I couldn't tell if those appeared the second he bit her.
Yeah, because then it does happen really quickly. Because then he spoilers bites Vicky at the very end to save her from dying.
Yeah. He bites her as they're plummeting
Yeah.
off a cliff.
He's just like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He gets a second go to save his girlfriend.
It's true. Just
Uh,
like Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. And that was the other thing. I kept thinking that there was gonna be a reveal with Vicky because
Yeah.
she seemed off.
Well,
I was
they
like,
reveal the thing about her being in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
When she was a child.
yeah, she broke. That's why she changed her
doesn't
name.
amount
She
to really
broke out.
anything.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has like this, like Stranger Things 11
Yeah.
backstory where she's
Well, really
stuck in an
also,
asylum.
There's the ghost who keeps talking to her, and I think
that's
it's Josette.
Yeah.
And then at the end, Barnabas hugs her and is like, Josette. And I'm like, so is she a reincarnation, or like, what did Josette just possess her and now is functioning through her?
Well,
I-
I assume it's just a reincarnation.
I thought it was like her great. Well, that would make sense.
No, she didn't have a child.
You're right.
Yeah.
This is all messed
She died.
Up. This
yeah.
makes no
Yeah.
sense.
I assume maybe with the Bart, like why the Collins line continued was just like I don't know, maybe like then like his uncle came in like after he died just
Yeah.
to take over the business and live in the big fancy house in Maine.
Which is a
Yeah.
weird detail to leave out.
Yeah,
It
you'd
feels
think
so
they'd
important.
explain that about even just a line about like oh after you disappeared, like your cousin,
Yeah.
your uncle came and continued the family business, but by now it's struggling.
Yeah.
Just something, anything.
But instead, they had a few minute scene where they just said balls a bunch of times.
Oh yeah. What a good scene.
What a scene.
He was like, our balls will be the biggest in the land. Going back to Eva Green, they don't even really there's only one movie that does this successfully, and it's The Princess Bride, where movies just tell you these people love each other, and you go,
Yeah.
okay. And it works because it's a fairy tale. But with this, it's like he just goes, you go, I love Josette, and it's like, okay, like because it's the backstory, it's fine. But then he goes, I love Vicky, and they never show them like interacting, falling in love.
They show one scene of them walking together on the beach.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very romantic. Is you not?
On the
It's-
wonderful
oh my
Maine
God.
rocky
Yeah,
coast.
it had my heart pounding.
And
I
at one
know.
point, he's like, why are you down here? And she's like, oh, I was looking for David. I was like, so your one job, you don't know where he is?
Yeah.
You're going to flirt with this vampire?
Says, oh, turn up.
Yeah. And then at the party, he runs into her, and she's like, oh, actually, I like you, basically.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh,
Infatuated with
sweet.
you. And then she's like, oh no, you're a vampire.
Yeah. And then the same thing with Eva Green, like, but in reverse, where it's like they never tell us why he doesn't like her, why she's not good enough. I
Yeah.
assume classism because she's the maid. Like,
I
she was
guess
a
so.
scullery maid.
Because they make it seem like at the beginning, like you see a little thing before he gets on the boat as a child, where he's like talking to a little girl, which may have been Eva Green.
It is.
Yeah,
It's her.
it's
What's
her.
her character's name?
Angelique.
Yes, that's who. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
they're,
for a
they're
while-
talking to a servant girl, and the mom's like, "Don't
Yeah.
talk to the help."
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that.
But it's like that either means that he doesn't really care about like just talking to the help, or his mom taught him at that point.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense either way.
I think they were trying to go for like, oh, you can, because he's like making out with her, and then she's like, tell me you love me, and he's like, I will be telling you a lie. So I was like, I think they were trying to go for like, you can, be intimate with someone and not love them.
Maybe.
But
Would it have been better if it was just like, oh, Eva Green just like was infatuated with him and just like
yeah.
constantly staring at him from a distance as he's falling in love with Josette.
Yes.
in
Or
the
if
beginning.
So now it's like kind of mean spirited.
It's
Yeah.
really mean spirited.
It's kind of I don't know.
Because they never give you a reason. It'd be one thing if it was like, oh, he's like lusts for her, but then she, is secretly evil, and he knows that. but he can't help himself. Like, but instead he just goes, "I don't like you," and she goes, "I'll make you."
Right.
Yeah.
And so then it comes off as like, oh, these women be crazy.
Yeah.
It is a woman be crazy movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know,
This
in
movie,
bad
Yeah.
taste.
Well, because then because we mentioned how everyone in the movie is horny for Johnny Depp. Helena Bonham Carter gives him a blowjob in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yes.
Also
in
a
bad
bizarre
taste.
thing to be in a supposedly family movie.
Yeah, and this I always think about this when a director has to direct his wife.
Oh yeah.
But
Why says, "You know how?
yeah,
You know it, baby."
but I feel like directors are sometimes just freakazoids. Like also this is unrelated, but great movie, 1981, I believe, Excalibur, directed by John Boorman. But his daughter
Not
plays,
the first time I think you brought up Excalibur on this podcast.
I love Excalibur, but 80s fantasy is one of my all-time favorite
Yeah.
genre aesthetics. But anyway, his real life daughter plays Arthur's mother,
Okay.
and so there's like in the like opening of the scene, he had to direct his daughter being assaulted by
Oh my
Arthur's
God.
father, and I was like,
Oh, that's horrible.
I know, and like I listened to the commentary, and he's like, everyone always asks like, oh, like was that weird? And he's like, it's a movie, it's not real. And I'm like,
Come on, honey,
Yeah,
scream.
but like,
You're terrified. You're fearing
Yeah.
for your life.
Oh well. Anyway,
Yeah.
check out Excalibur. It's better than this movie.
Harmony Korine cast his daughter in Spring Breakers.
Really?
What?
Yeah, she's one
Wait,
of the
who's she?
girls. She's
What?
she's the blonde one that's not a Disney star.
Wait, so is she one of the ones like that's still there?
She's
at
the main.
end?
No, the ones that are still there at the end are
It's Vanessa
Hudgens and
another one.
the other Disney star.
No, Selena Gomez leaves.
Yeah, but
There's another Disney star?
it's 3 Disney stars and Harmony Korine's daughter.
I don't know who the third Disney star
I
is.
I can't remember her name right now, but you'd
Yeah.
recognize it if I told you.
That makes a lot of sense because I was like, who the hell is this?
Right. She's not in anything else except
Yeah.
Harmony Korine movies. Like she's in Spring Breakers and like Trash Humpers.
But also like,
Ashley Benson?
Yes, Ashley Benson.
And Rachel Corrine.
Yep.
that's weird to me that that Harmony Korine has a daughter that's like Spring Breaker's age, because in my mind he's
That's
always like a
horrifying.
sniveling like
Yeah.
kid.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I do have good news that that Spring Breakers is playing at Alamo South Lamar.
Wait.
on a couple weeks from now.
Yes.
Wait, we must go.
maybe
Make a
out of
pilgrimage.
town that weekend.
What?
Yeah, my friend's bachelor party.
Oh.
Spring Breakers. Dude.
Yeah, with the boys. This
Dark
movie
shit.
sucks.
Yeah, not good.
This movie, legitimately, because like there's points where it's like the production design was good. Like it's a lot of good actors. I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Love Michelle Pfeiffer in a movie. Which the end climax, I got major flashbacks to Stardust.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
which I think you were very drunk when we watched Stardust.
Yeah.
Best movie ever. I'll say
Incredible.
it.
I don't even think I was very drunk. I think I just wasn't paying attention for the first 5 minutes, so then I didn't
Oh yeah,
understand
you asked a million questions during Stardust because that movie just throws a lot at you. You just gotta keep up.
Like, if you miss those first 5 minutes,
You
you're
just
gonna
gotta
be
roll
lost.
with it. Well, it's even stuff that I think you're imagining that there was like this big explanation for everything. No, Stardust, like there's a bunch of shit that just throws at you like as you go.
Yeah.
But the end climax, like in the big grand hall, and also with Michelle Pfeiffer, was
yeah.
very similar.
Yeah.
Anyway, go watch Stardust.
It's much better than
Better
yes.
movie for like I imagine like a third of the budget.
Yeah, that's actually like the only
I'm
thing about
curious.
Stardust is that the effect. Some of the effects don't hold up amazing, but it's still a wonderful story. And also, it's like literally only a couple. Most of the effects are great.
Stardust, the budget was $65 million.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's a plucky little movie that has like sky pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro plays a sky pirate.
And there are
I
also
know.
witches in it.
There
Yeah.
are much better witches.
Much
Which,
better
because it
witches.
felt like
Witches that
why,
make sense.
why isn't Eva Green using her magic more?
Yeah.
Not in terms of like her character, but just for the movie. It would make
Right.
it entertaining.
The only
Yeah.
magic she uses is she throws up.
She has magic
she
throw up.
sometimes flies around in a very like, I don't know, crouching tiger, hidden dragon sort of way.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of subtle.
But so rarely.
But like, and also she like throws people to the side like with
Yeah.
the force, and it looks like shit.
Yeah, it looks really bad.
Like you'd think for $150 million they'd be like,
Yeah.
she'd be doing some crazy shit.
Because
like,
if this was like a $50 million movie, or at least like there would be at least be like, oh yeah, they made like a little movie. Like the only thing I can imagine is like Johnny Depp costs like $100 million or
Yeah.
something. Because I know at this point, and like, I think up until like Transcendence, remember that movie?
No.
With Johnny
Yeah.
Depp.
No.
Oh God, that movie sucks. But I think he got paid like $50 million or something.
Yeah.
For just that movie, where he plays a computer.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the most lifeless performance ever on purpose.
Is it better than Mordecai?
I didn't see Mordecai.
I didn't see it either, but
I did
would
see.
love
I
to.
did see for my former roommate Alex watching Mordecai out of curiosity, and he said like, "Oh, this is bad.
No,
This is
I-
bad." And he loves everything.
I need to see it. I feel like
Oh my
it's one of
God.
those bad movies that's like always been on my watch list.
God, no, it looks so bad.
I forgot that movie existed.
Oh God, I hope we get to it one day. That's like 2015, I think.
Yeah.
That movie it also cost like $80 million to make, and it looks like it costs like 20.
Yeah.
Okay, since we were talking about the final battle
Yeah.
with the witch and everything, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes.
The
That's what
reveal. The reveal of her character.
It's so stupid and
It's-
weird.
Oh, I forgot.
Jacob, would you like to do
Totally
would you
forgot.
like to say the
What?
quote?
She looks
How could I
up.
forget of this?
She looks up at Michelle Pfeiffer, and I wrote it down.
After she has jumped and like attacked Eva Green.
Yeah, and she's got like Thriller eyes, like the end of the Thriller music
Yeah.
video. And she goes, "I'm a werewolf, okay? Let's not make a big deal about it."
Yeah, meanwhile, at this point, I think I was like, did I miss something? Like,
No,
Yeah.
you
What?
missed nothing.
They never tease it.
Not a single thing.
Yeah.
Oh
There's not even like they could have done something where they go, like, it makes perfect sense. They go because I maintain that they every time Chloe Grace Moretz is on screen, they're like, oh, like a short dress you're wearing, or like her brother goes, hey, this bitch be masturbating.
I forgot that her brother says that. That's her cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, her
I keep track of this family.
yeah, her
Fucking
cousin,
know.
her cousin.
Yeah, because yeah.
Anyway,
she's Michelle Pfeiffer.
I'm
so.
sorry I said the B word. But anyway, it's like always so like sus. And so it makes perfect sense that they would go, "Oh, like she has really bad periods because once a month she's crazy." And it's like and then it goes, "Actually, she's a werewolf." Like
That would at least like. I mean, it would fit in with this tone of the movie of all these sexual jokes that I hate.
Yeah.
But
And
at
are
least
just
it would be
uncomfortable.
something.
Yeah, and
This
it's
movie
like
is the most nothing movie ever.
yeah. And then
I hate this movie.
the-
I hate this movie so much. I gave this like 3 out of 10 on Letterboxd. I'm going and lowering it.
I know.
I hate this movie so much.
I did 2 on Letterboxd. I think I might go down to 1.5.
Honestly, I feel like I may have liked it a little bit more than you guys.
Yeah, just
but,
talking
like,
about this
just
movie,
by
I
like
hate it.
default, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I guess I didn't despise it. I've
I
seen
know.
the worst. You know,
Well,
I've seen
I
not
think-
cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, that one's bad. But it's just like the fact that it's $150 million of someone's money.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a studio's money or something. They put up the money for this.
Taxpayer dollars.
They
dude.
could have put this money into anything. They could have given us this money. They could have given a 12-year-old me this money.
Yeah.
They could have cured world hunger.
True.
$150 million. You know what I'd do with $150 million?
What?
Dark Shadows 2.
Oh, the Raid 3.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. But do you want to guess what the budget of our other movie, The Raid, was?
500,000.
I'll say $5 million.
$1.1 million.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And
That's amazing.
it has really stood the test of time compared to Dark Shadows.
Yeah, Dark Shadows. Because I guess we'll also talk about because I was looking into like who's responsible for this. Because Tim Burton just seems like he'll just take anything. That's written by Seth Graham Smith, the writer of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, the book, as well as the movie.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to bring up was because I saw that and I was like, because the book is his novels. I've read 2 of them are actually like really fun.
Yeah.
and really good.
I love the Abraham. We're getting like a month or 2 ahead of ourselves, but the
Uh-huh.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter book is great.
Yeah. And he wrote a sequel to it called Last American Vampire. That's also really fun. Because I always really like this idea of like going through history of this
Yeah.
immortal creature.
You can see why he would want to do this.
Yeah.
Or have the idea for this.
Which I did think was fun about Eva Green having lived there for 200 years and just pretending to be
Yeah.
like her own daughter.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I was still like, someone would notice.
Yeah, that they-
because like I get like you not noticing in like paintings of the like her ancestors, but like event like she's running this company. Is it just like, all right, I'm going to leave, walks out the door, changes outfit, come back in. Hello, I am her daughter that you have never heard about.
Yeah,
She's a
and,
witch. She could just mind control you to forget.
I guess so. But even then, like, I hate this movie.
Her powers are so poorly defined.
Yeah.
They're just so nothing. They never use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$150 million. No lightning bolts. No turning into a giant snake.
Every
no,
once in a while, she does like a classic like rhyme, like a
For a spell.
bubble, toil and trouble kind of thing. Except one of them is really stupid because I guess it's for the 70s, and she's like, oh, I'm going to like. Let me think of a rhyme real quick. She's like, I'm gonna put you in an urn and burn, baby, burn. And I was like, okay. I did think there were some banging music selections, but that's not. They didn't have anything to
It
do
felt
with
like
that.
basic music
Oh,
selections.
it kind of reminded me of Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah.
Where it was just, especially in the first like 30 minutes, where it just felt like there's one song after another.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
Like, it's
Wow.
Season of the Witch. and
Yeah,
then-
like the most obvious music too.
Yeah. Alice Cooper as himself.
Alice
Yeah.
Cooper as himself looking like 2012 Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Star of Wayne's World.
Hell
Yes,
love
yeah.
it. I guess
Uh,
Alice Cooper's always looked old
Yeah,
because
he's always
looked
Wayne's
like
World
that.
to now maybe.
Yeah. I also really like the lore of werewolf kid because
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Eva just goes, I sent the werewolf that bit Carolyn in her crib, and I'm like, what?
What?
She's been
The hell?
transforming. Theoretically, she's been transforming once a month since she was a kid.
And no one
No one's
noticed.
noticed.
Yeah.
Until somebody gets gets thrown through the ceiling, and then she goes, "Get out of my room!"
Yeah, 'cause- oh yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
she jumps before she fully turns into a werewolf. She jumps on the ceiling and goes.
Yeah.
out.
And then she comes down like gets thrown around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been the easiest thing in the world to hint at, like, oh, the
Yeah.
night after full moon, why are you so tired? And they're like, oh, I guess she's just a teenager.
Yeah.
It's not a good twist.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's not a twist. It just happens.
Yeah.
It's like it wants to be a twist.
Yeah,
It wants
it's-
you to be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
But
it
instead you're
feels like it feels like they were writing the movie linearly and then got to a point and said, this would be cool," and then didn't go back.
Or I think what must have happened is they got there and they're like, how are they gonna beat this witch? Actually,
She doesn't even beat her though.
oh,
she
you're
just
right.
fights her for a
right,
little
the
longer.
ghost shows up and beats
Yeah.
her. All right.
Completely unrelated. You
Can't
could have
believe
cut that part completely out. You
Yeah,
could have edited it out.
I keep on trying to make it seem less superfluous
Yeah.
in my mind, but no, it's just totally like a tumor.
I'm a werewolf. Okay, she's beat. No, I'm not a werewolf.
Yeah.
They just wanted another creature in it, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's a
Maybe.
thing from the TV show. They wanted
They
like,
just- she's
they
just
wanted
randomly
fans
a
of the TV
werewolf.
show to be like, "Oh my
Oh, yeah.
god!"
Yeah.
Fans of the TV show in the theater, like,
Yeah.
Actually, it probably is. It's like, oh, the teenage daughter is a werewolf, and every week in Dark Shadows, it probably is a thing like that. But that's another thing. For $150 million, she's the most half-assed werewolf of all time.
I know.
Yeah.
They give her like goat legs or
Yeah.
something.
And then they gave her like a little bit of like a brow and the eyes, but then it's just a girl. Like I'm like,
Yeah, it's just Chloe Grace Moretz.
yeah. Like I feel like she should really, transform.
Yeah, it's no Lupin.
But I guess wrapping up this movie, Martin. So how did this match your expectations?
I mean, I expected it to be bad, and it was. So. met
Really
them.
blew you away.
I guess it met my expectations.
Jacob.
I honestly
Because
didn't.
how's this match your memory? I guess since you're the only one who's seen it before.
I will say, I think the first time I watched it, I was just kind of bored. I was like, this is
Yeah.
a whatever movie. But I watched a lot of movies as a kid that I would just like lay on the couch and be like, okay, like.
Yeah.
So I think it was one of those where I just was like, whatever. Like I said, there were a couple things that stuck in my mind. We've already covered them. It was the werewolf transformation, and then the my cousin be masturbating comment because I thought it was strange. I would say it was a little more entertaining than I remember because at least I could be like, this is weird, but it wasn't good. It's one of those ones that like I watched and will probably never think about or want to put on again.
Yeah. This was worse than my expectation. I don't know, because I feel like watching it, I was just very like, whatever. Like it wasn't painful, but I think just thinking about the budget and like all the kind of things that they could do with it, because it feels like everything they do is just like a half measure,
For real, yeah.
and just like it was. I hate this movie. I hate it. I hate what it stands for. It stands for Hollywood laziness.
Amen.
In my
Amen.
book, give me $1 million. I'll make you a better movie.
Yeah.
Give me $1 million. Put it into crypto.
Oh, earlier I joked about Dark Shadows 2, but they definitely teased one.
Oh, they really did.
Yeah.
Because she comes back. Also, I will never buy crypto. That was a joke for anybody who thinks I'm being serious. Do not buy crypto. It's a scam.
But yeah, because like Helena Bonham Carter, I thought the reveal was gonna be that because he kills her and they dispose of her body by dropping her into the ocean attached to a cinder block.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the thing would be because they set up all these like they own a fishing company. I thought they'd like find her in a net or something like that.
Oh,
And
that would've been better. And
Eva
then
Green
she-
also has a fishing deal, but instead she's just like, no, I'm gonna burn the other fishing company down.
But yeah.
Bad movie.
They just, I feel like they didn't really think through a lot of the things they could have done.
Yeah, this feels like a first draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like the first draft that I just turned in, which is very much like it starts off with a lot of ideas and like some things in a few scenes, and then you wrap up like maybe 2 of those.
Also, not to put Seth Grahame-Smith on blast, because I did enjoy your vampire novels.
Yeah.
But I just realized there's also some sus stuff in Last American Vampire, and I'm like thinking about how I felt uncomfortable with a lot of the Chloe Grace Moretz stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
Seth. You're on walking a tightrope.
Oh,
bud.
he did write the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
You're back on top.
One last thing I want to ask is why the hell did they not just make an Addams Family movie?
Well,
There were those in the 90s, but
Yeah.
why not just make a new one with it?
True.
Have Johnny Depp be the main one, the dad, I forget his name. Have Chloe Grace Moretz be Wednesday, which they did do in she plays her in the animated ones that
Yeah.
have come out recently. And now frickin' Tim Burton, the next thing he's doing is he's like showrunner on a Netflix Addams Family show.
Weird.
And so it's like, why? Because it's a big mansion, creepy people, vampires. It's like, but more options to be creative, I guess.
Let me pitch something for you right now.
Okay.
Addams Family, but they've grown up. So we have now get this fan cast. We have Josh Gad as Pugsley and Aubrey Plaza as Wednesday.
Okay.
And they're trying to make their life in the normal world now that they're grown
Okay.
up. That's as far as I got. I just think Aubrey Plaza would be a good Wednesday.
And Michelle Pfeiffer as
Morticia.
Adams.
Who would be a good Gomez? Javier Bardem.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that.
I know. I'm not happy with Pugsley, but Josh Gad is the only
That's
one
the
I can think of.
obvious casting choice.
I
Jack
thought-
Black.
I thought Jack Black, but I feel like his age doesn't quite match.
Who cares?
yeah.
Just shave him.
De-age him. De-age him.
Him and he's supposed to be like the same age as Aubrey Plaza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel like Pugsley's a little bit younger than Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, I think maybe that lines up.
Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah, he would be good in that.
Let's never talk about this movie again.
Yep, down the memory hole.
Well said. Well said. Flush it away. Now, we get to be redeemed.
Yes.
By the raid redemption.
I felt so redeemed.
I was
after
so
watching this.
redeemed.
I watched this first. I watched this like.
I watched the raid first.
Yeah.
I watched Dark Shadows after.
I should have watched Dark Shadows first, and then had a palate
Yeah.
cleanser.
That's
with
what
the
I
raid.
did, and also because I watched them both this morning,
Mm.
and I really wanted to show my roommate Blake the raid.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, or we can watch Dark Shadows together and then watch the raid. And he was like, "Do you think I should watch Dark Shadows?" And I was like, "No." Just one text, no. And, so I watched Dark Shadows at like 10:30 a.m.
Uh-huh.
Finished, and then watched the raid with my roommate, which was badass. I've seen this movie like 4 or 5 times.
Well, you didn't hear me. One thing, if you noticed, you didn't hear me mention it in the box office rundown because I think, as we mentioned at the end of last episode, this was not a new release this weekend. This came out, I think, in America like in late March, but we wanted to catch up on it.
Because it rules.
This movie is so cool. But yeah, it's at number 66 this weekend.
Nice.
Pulling in a good $16,000 in 16 screens. That's pretty good. Didn't set the box office on fire, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
But so, Jacob, what's your history with the Raid and how it redeemed you?
I actually didn't see the Raid probably until I was like in high school, like 16 or 17. Yeah, it was much later because the second one was already out, and I didn't see the second one in theaters either. And so I was able to watch them both in like a week when I was in my teenage years. And, but I had like wanted to see them because I'm a huge martial arts movie fan, as we've established in other episodes. So my friend Javi introduced these to me, and it kicks so much ass. It's like I also just love. It's like a very simple format. Like people could call it like Die Hard or whatever, but it's not really like Die Hard because it's like it's more
floor to floor.
Yeah, and I really like the structure of it, where it's like we have this building, we know that there's 30 floors of hell or whatever, and we've got to get to the top, and that's where the bad guy is. So I really like that, and then of course it's got some of the sickest action ever put to screen.
Martin, what's your history with?
I have actually
Your
never seen it.
history.
I've never seen it before.
This is a first?
This was a first.
Whoa!
Because this is a movie I've been wanting to watch for a very long time because I love action movies. I like, I like stuff that feels like a video game.
Oh,
people like to say like, "Oh man, this movie feels like a video game, therefore I don't like it." But no, that means it's gonna rule. Yeah, you finally made me do it.
I forced you.
No,
dragged you, kicking and
just-
screaming.
You happened to inform me it was on HBO Max, so.
Well, my history with this movie is I remember, because this was around the time I was getting into like you people talking about movies on YouTube, and this one kept coming up. Like I remember people saying like, "Oh, The Raid, like showed what action movies can be." Because I feel like in my memory, this was the time when like shaky cam was the way of action. Like we were still in the post like Bourne Supremacy ultimatum mode of like shake the camera as much as possible. And this was like, oh, they know how to do it. Like, and I think this and especially John Wick later on were the ones of like, okay, action needs to be better.
Yeah.
This makes John Wick look baby. Dude.
Yeah.
Well, John Wick has a gun.
Yeah, John Wick
What a
has to
whip.
shoot people. What's the main character's name?
Rama.
Dude, he just, throws their head onto like a broken door frame.
Oh my god, that's so cool. I didn't see this when it came out. I was 12.
Pretty hard R here.
Yeah,
oh
it's
my God, very hard.
kind of gruesome.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Hot take. Because I remember when the second movie came out, I then got interested because people were talking about it, which that was 2014, I believe. Same year as John Wick, actually. And then I remember after the second one came out, like for release, they had a sale on both movies on iTunes. I bought them.
Yeah.
And watched them both like back to back. And The Raid 2 is nuts, let me tell you.
Yeah. They were
Um,
like, what if we had another hour 40 of action, but we also put an hour of like mafia crime?
So Martin, do you know anything about The Raid 2?
I know he goes undercover.
Yeah. And The Raid 2 is The Departed with martial arts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It kicks ass.
So isn't it like 2.5 hours long?
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours
Oh my
long.
God.
It's an epic.
That's crazy. I
Uh,
know what I'm doing this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's so good. But yeah, but I remember the first time I watched this one, it felt like I was watching it so I could get to The Raid 2 because I'd seen the trailers for that one. I was a lot more excited for it. And I think also I may have been a little inhibited by my main complaint with this movie is that it's so fucking dark.
Yeah.
Like and whatever color grade they had just made this movie so like gray.
It does have that kind of like I don't know, 2000s era blue.
Yeah.
And like really low budget
Yeah.
kind of.
It's almost kind of Zack Snyder-y too, the way it's like
A little bit.
gray and like.
It's not. Not really.
But yeah, so I think, and I remember I used to watch a lot of movies on iTunes, like either like on my desktop at home or on my phone. So I don't think I watched this in the best conditions. And I like couldn't see a lot of the action great, but what I could see I liked. But then The Raid 2 is definitely has a bigger budget. They do a lot more with it.
Yeah.
You know, there's an epic car chase in it.
Oh my God. One of the best car chases of all time.
Well, it's not really a car chase. It's a fight within a car, and then into
Yeah.
another car. And I don't want to spend this whole time talking about The Raid 2, but
Is it better than Matrix Reloaded's car chase?
Yes.
I'd say so.
Okay.
That's they're very different.
Yeah, I think.
So,
Raid.
The Raid. It's about a guy,
Yeah.
Rama,
Uh-huh.
played by Iko Uwais. I think is how you pronounce his name.
I would say Uwes, but I don't know.
Iko Uwe. I think that may be right. Iko Uwe, who's been showing up more in some American cinema.
Basically all three of the main actors in this have started showing up in a lot of other stuff. They're they're darlings of the martial arts world now.
Yeah. The weirdest one though was in do you remember when they show up in The Force Awakens?
Yes.
Do you remember?
weird.
Do you know that?
They are. They're
Kanja Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never made a deal with Kanja Club.
Throw
that
that
to
to
Kanja
Kanja Club.
And then they go like, Miko te pinta solo, uka noko.
We have to cut that out for racial sensitivity.
No, they speak alien. It's like it's not racist. It's like Greedo. He's like uku joko de solo.
It's like Greedo or like Watto.
Yeah. Hey, wadewanga. Annie.
Hey, you stole me money.
Your mother Shmi, I married her.
We always end up at the Phantom Menace on this show.
It's because it's a great, great film.
Oh my God.
I watch it every weekend.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say with Star Wars because I remember it got announced that they were gonna be in it.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna be like Dark Jedi or something, and they're gonna have an epic action scene with lightsabers and everything. It's gonna be so different." And then they show up and like
They get eaten by
a space squid.
Yeah.
big, like Cthulhu thing.
Raftars.
Raftars. Yeah, he's selling them to King whatever on planet Hoopla. Whatever.
Please tell me you're not hauling Raftars. I'm hauling Raftars. Or whatever. But
You know this scene backwards and forwards, and that's coming from a guy who's seen this movie 5 times.
Right.
In theaters.
This might be my least favorite scene in that movie.
it kind of is
Mine.
pointless. And Finn goes, he's like, that was awesome. The doors. And she goes, that was lucky. And then they run away.
But anyway, that seems very Raid-esque, if you ask me.
Yeah,
It's like if the Raid had Raptars.
Oh yeah, of course.
But so you have this guy, Rama. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
A rookie cop. Rookie SWAT team guy, I
in the
guess.
Jakarta slums.
In the Jakarta slums. It's an Indonesian film, by the way. Directed by a white man.
Yeah, that's what I thought was interesting. So is this technically an American film?
No.
So, but they speak English. Are they dubbed?
Well, I think it was made mainstream. Well, they don't speak much English, do they?
They do. It's dubbed. Well,
Wait,
at least the one I watched was dubbed.
What? You watched? It was completely English?
Yeah.
What?
You watched it in Indonesian?
Yeah,
with
That sounds awesome. Because I watched it with the
dubbed?
shitty dub, and I was
There
like,
was oh my God, I
Yeah.
didn't know they made a dub.
yeah, it's
wow.
not good. It's not a good dub.
Oh,
but
wow.
No,
because like I own it on iTunes, so I watched it there, and I think you own it too,
I don't know
right,
on
Jacob?
Prime, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, the one on HBO Max is a dub, and I was
Oh,
trying to
that's
change
horrible.
it because at first I thought like my audio was fucked up because like
Yeah.
the
was
words
coming
weren't
out, like,
matching.
delayed,
yeah, so I was like, hey, is this like
That's
dubbed?
really
So I
weird.
looked and they only had like English and Spanish audio, and so I was like, all
They
right, I
don't
guess
have
this is
that?
just how the movie is. I
Oh,
guess they
no.
just like
Yeah.
dubbed it for American audiences.
No, it's an
Weird.
Indonesian.
Yeah, see that sounds awesome.
Um,
I want to like, damn.
Yeah.
The dub is pretty bad,
but
but I just kind of took it for what it was.
should I continue with the plot or explain why the director's white? Because there is a story behind that.
Explain the director.
So the director, Gareth Hugh Evans, I think is how he's credited in the version I watched, at least. But at least the story I think I heard was because like he's Dutch, I believe, and like he's from some one of the smaller English country or European countries, and they had colonized like Indonesia for super long, and then I think his family had grown up there. I don't know if he grew up there, but eventually they moved back to the Netherlands. And then the story I heard was that he was like doing work as something, just like not really making it with anything, and then like I think him and his wife just like up and like we're gonna move to Indonesia, get a fresh start, and he started directing and directed this awesome movie.
And the beginning of the movie, it comes up, says Merantau Films, and his first movie, which also stars Iko Uwais,
Oh really?
is also a Indonesian martial arts movie
Mm-hmm.
called Merantau, and it's actually like pretty awesome. Like
Oh, really?
it's even lower budget than this, but the action is great, and it actually has a lot of heart because it's about like it's a coming of age story because
Oh,
Marantow is like the pilgrimage from like or it's like the I guess his like coming of age.
It's like a walkabout.
Kind of, but he has to like go out on his own, like,
Okay,
and so he goes
interesting.
to the big city and then ends up getting
Okay.
into all this shenanigans. He's from like a
Martial
little
arts
village.
shenanigans.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's stuff in this movie too. But there's like that's what's so impressive about these movies is like there's stuff in it that you watch it and you go, I don't know how they did this without like really hurting someone. Like in Marantow, there's a fight on top of these big storage containers, like the kinds that go on like ships. I think because it's like a human trafficking thing and they're like breaking people out of them. So he's fighting a guy on top of one and there's another one right across from it and he kicks that guy and you see him fly off the one container, smash his lower
Oh my
back on
God.
the edge of the other container
Ugh.
and fall to the ground in an unbroken shot.
Oh my god.
Like how?
He was just committed to it.
Yeah.
That sounds like the thing in this movie where they throw the guy off
Yes.
the middle of the stairwell.
Uh-huh.
Or not the stairwell, the like what do you
But
call
yeah,
that?
it's like the
The air
courtyard.
shaft.
Yeah, the big like open like apartment and they fall and break their back on
Yeah.
the other ledge.
It's insane.
But
Actually,
this one you can tell there was like,
some like
some
visual effects. Yeah.
or something like that.
There's a great documentary about martial arts movies called Iron Fists and Kung Fu Kicks. It's streaming somewhere. I've seen it around, but I saw it at Fantastic Fest a couple years ago.
Oh wow.
And or maybe it was South by. But anyway, it's a great.
Mr. Mogul over
I know.
here.
Yeah.
I'm just jet setting, but
Across town.
yeah, but it's a documentary about martial arts films, and there's a really good part where one of the experts says, he's like, "Mark my words, the next great evolution in martial arts is going to come from wherever they care the least about their stuntmen." And then it cuts to the
That
rain, and
makes
it says Indonesia.
That's funny. That's true. But yeah, so the story of this film. You got a guy. His name's Rama. He's a cop. We meet him. He's praying. Intercut with him warming up for the day, as we all do. That's how we start every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
do.
pray and I hit my punching bag. in
Hit
the
your
living
punching
room.
bag, and then you pray, and then you do your push-ups.
Yeah.
Talk to your wife.
Yeah, talk to your pregnant wife.
Yeah.
We're all like that.
Yeah.
Just, bunch of fellas.
Just guy stuff, really.
But yeah, he has a pregnant wife, but he's going. Oh, and they establish because his dad is at his house, and he just looks at his dad and says, "I'm gonna bring him back."
Yeah.
In Indonesian, of course, unless you're Martin.
No, dude, the
Wait,
dub
what?
is so bad. He was like, "I'm gonna bring him back."
Dubbed by '90s Keanu.
No, it was totally throwing me off because it kind of almost matched the mouth movements a little bit, and
It's
so
so weird.
like,
And
I
that's
was
like one
trying
of
to
the first times they talk in the
yes,
movie.
and so I was like, okay.
I'm
I was-
gonna bring him back.
So I was so confused. I was like, so did they record it like in English, but like, did they dub over it
Yeah,
again?
just
like,
film it without sound or
yeah,
something.
I was so confused, but I'm glad to know that there's
Yeah.
an Indonesian
We'll have
language
to
version out
leave
there.
here and go watch the Indonesian version.
Yes,
again.
please, because the dub is not good.
That's hilarious. But yeah, he's a guy and he's going, and right away we get the title, and he's in the van headed to the raid, the titular raid on a giant building that is a drug kingpin runs, has a drug lab, and he's set up at the top, and a bunch of people live in this apartment building, but he's there with like 20 cops.
Yeah.
And they're gonna raid it.
Yeah. And they set up that like most of the people living there are criminals because the boss like rents it out to people that need to like lie low in exchange for their loyalty, which I think is so cool. I always love stuff where it feels like you're behind enemy lines and everyone is evil. Like it's like
Yeah.
if you go into like a prison or something and
Yeah.
it's like everyone's a killer. So yeah, they go in and they're trying to get Tama, who's the drug lord in charge.
And they go in for reasons that are, a little questionable.
Yeah.
They set up and become more questionable as they go. But then all hell breaks loose, and a bunch of them get killed, and then it's up to our main boy Rama to fight his way out with his fists.
They all run out of bullets pretty quickly, and it
They
becomes
do.
like a punch kick fest.
Yeah, I did think it was funny how like when all the people in the building like get on it, it's just like gun fever.
Yeah.
And then the second they're like looking for people, it's all like, oh, not a gun to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. They sent their 3 guys with guns to shoot them.
Yeah,
on the,
yeah.
the
And then
stairway.
everyone else is armed with machetes.
Yeah.
Something I really like about this movie is the kind of like cause and effect.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they go for a second they have the upper hand. They're like systematically going floor by floor, tying people up, which also like feels a little like they haven't been attacked yet, so it feels a little weird for cops to just like burst in and be like kind of brutal with people.
Yeah.
But
that scene did feel like it wasn't like fully like, oh, these are good guys.
Yeah.
Like, because that scene is kind of brutal of them just like slamming people to the ground and
Yeah.
zip tying them.
because most of them they maybe put tape over their mouth and zip tie their hands. But there's like one guy that's watching TV and it looks like they straight up like garrote him. I guess maybe they don't because he goes off screen. But yeah, then basically they get found out because so that's what I mean by the cause and effect is like then they see a kid. And the sergeant of the group, Jaka, who also has gone on to be in stuff. I want to say,
good for him.
I want to say he was Sub-Zero in the new Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
he was also in Star Trek Beyond and Fast and Furious 6.
Yeah, a lot of these guys.
Oh, is he the guy that fights Han and Tyrese?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah.
a lot of.
His name is Ja.
I want to
in that
say some of these guys are in John Wick 3. I want to say.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, I think
Mad Dog is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mad Dog. Mad Dog.
His name is Yayan Ruhian or something.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he shows up in a lot of stuff, including Takashi Miike's Yakuza Apocalypse, which I watched recently.
And also the funny thing that I guess I'll let you in on is that he's in the Raid 2.
As a different character.
Yeah,
Oh,
they just
awesome.
brought it, but he looks exactly the
Yeah,
same.
No,
he
that's
plays
fine.
like a hobo.
He's a hobo who's amazing at kung fu.
Yeah.
I think I like him more in that one, just from my memory. I haven't seen it in
Me
so
too.
long. But because that one, like, in this one, he's crazy, like, with his martial arts. But that one, like, he goes full on. There's, like, a whole action scene where he's, like, in a club fighting with just, like, a broken bottle.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
And he also, that
You're
one
gonna
they
love
give
the
him
Raid
like
too.
a
Oh,
backstory
will.
that actually has some like heart.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, he's just a cold-blooded killer.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't use guns. It's like taking out fast food.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah.
It's like taking out takeout. Which, when he said it, he said, I don't like guns. It's
Think of
like
Jesse Eisenberg.
buying
was-
takeout. It's a really bad
Oh
voice.
my god. That's. I feel bad for you now.
I know.
I mean, it was funny. It didn't take away like too much. They
Yeah.
don't talk very much,
Yeah, thank God. They speak with their fists.
right? Like if I was watching this and it was like, I don't know, I guess the Raid 2 where there's like a plot.
Oh yeah,
I think it
that
probably
would have
would've
driven
driven
you
me crazy.
insane. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because this
We'll have to have a
movie-
Raid 2 screening so you can watch.
Yes, please in
I'm
Indonesian.
so down. It's awesome. But yeah, just on the cause and effect thing, because then like Jaka is like a good dude, like you can tell.
He wants to clean up the streets.
Yeah, he's in it for the right reasons. So he's like, they see this kid and he's like trying to talk him down. He's like, hey, like don't alert anyone, don't do anything stupid. Then the kid runs and his boss, who's a
The
shithead,
lieutenant.
Yeah.
We hate the lieutenant.
shoots the kid, but not before he can yell police to another kid, who then goes and alerts the whole building. So then they've lost the upper hand and it's like the whole
And they've
building
shot
against
a
them.
child.
Yeah.
That's such a good moment though. That's such a good like turning point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's another turning point too where when Tama turns all the lights off in the building and they're sitting in the dark and they're like, what the fuck's happening? And then they can see from one end right next to them, feet under the door, someone's approaching. And then we learn that up in the dark above them are like 4 guys with AK-47s, but they can't see the cops. And so then one of the cops gets jumpy and shoots at the guy under the door, and the muzzle flash from his gun alerts where the guys are, and they light up the whole like platoon.
Yeah.
And it's like such a good tense scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie rules.
It's amazing.
It's a great script because like within the scenes, I think a lot of people forget this, especially when learning to write scripts. It's a lot of like in your scenes there needs to be beats
Yeah.
about because like you have like your main script beats, but like each scene of like okay they're stuck in the dark. Oh, they see this. The muzzle flash goes up. Oh, so then they can see them. Just like little kind of like you said the cause and effect thing.
Yeah.
And like very good turning points as well, like with the child getting shot.
Yeah. It's like that's what sets a lot of times what sets good action aside is like when there's it's not just people like wailing on each other. It's like there's things, goals and stuff within the fight. But yeah, and it kind of just continues that way throughout the whole thing. I will say my one like complaint about this movie, having seen it a bunch of times now, is that I think there are times where it gets a little like another big fight happens and you get kind of like fight fatigue. Like I think when Rama and Andy fight Mad Dog, it goes on. It's like a really good fight and it ends very epically, but I feel like it goes on for a while.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling that too.
Yeah, by that point it gets a little like exhausting, and I feel like a problem that the Raid 2 solves, I guess, is that end fight is awesome.
Yeah,
that's the one that I rewatch.
Yeah, for me it's the prison fight. I feel like it's so
that
cool.
Prison fight's so good. Sorry, Martin. It's so good.
I will be able to join this conversation in a few days.
When you watch the dub in a few days.
Yes, it'll be amazing.
The very plotty movie of the dub.
Yeah.
I don't have either of y'all seen Dread?
Yeah.
No.
Dread came out this same year, and it is basically the exact same story, just like police enter a building to arrest a drug lord that lives at the top of the building. The drug lord shuts the building down, and they have to fight their way through it, like to a T, the exact same movie. But this one, I was thinking about it, and I was like, it also is kind of just the structure of Aliens. Because it's a bunch of soldiers or cops, I guess, go into a place, and then very quickly a bunch get knocked out, get killed off, and then they have to fight their way out.
Yeah, it's a great format.
And I was like, this would be a great video game.
Yeah,
especially like if you're a fighting game or a shooting game, like it's a bunch of close quarters, a bunch of people with guns everywhere. It'd be good.
For real.
I can give you like 15 that are just that.
It's almost like one of those like arcade games where it's like you just stay in one spot, but people like pop out and they like
oh, like the ones with
Time Crisis.
With the I love those.
It made me want to play Siege, Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh yeah,
which is much slower pace than this, and you don't fight people, but it's about cops who are have to breach into a
or you have to protect the place.
Yeah, it's a very like peeking around corners.
Yeah. Do you have Rainbow Six?
Yeah,
I do too.
Oh. Let's play.
Oh, hell yeah.
What are you doing after? Never mind.
But yeah, it's just like a good, because I feel like I was like, the beginning of the movie's kind of taking a while. Like we're not getting to that. Like it takes a while to get to like the full on martial arts, but then when it does, like when you get Rama like fully bursting out, you get that scene in the hallway where he just has a knife.
Yeah.
And I call that the explosion of martial arts because that is like a. That is a shut up, this is what the movie is moment.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Before that, there's that scene where they like have the refrigerator and they blow it up and they go through the floor and stuff. Yeah.
They have to chop through the floor to
That
escape.
seems really cool too.
Yeah. But I think that scene in the hallway when he has the knife is when it really is like, that's when it gets
his injured
cooking.
friend that he has to protect.
Yeah. Fuck. I was gonna say something about the hallway fight. Just that I was watching this with Blake, and I wrote down a couple of good quotes he had, and one of them he said, "What if the old boy hammer fight was just the whole movie?"
That's true. This one's crazy though, because it just feels like I don't know. I don't get how Iko moves this way.
Yeah,
there's a way about like. I don't know. There's some like hits he has that are so kinetic, like I don't.
Yeah,
it's so unique as compared to like someone like Jackie Chan or something.
Mm-hmm.
Notice to them, but just like it's so different.
I was reading a little bit about some of the actors just while I was killing some time, and I think it said that he had been training in this martial art, which it's called like Silat. Since he was 10.
Oh, I know. Me too.
And I think it said...
Let me demonstrate for you. The people at home can imagine it.
Oh, shit. He's the best. And I think
you better know it. All right, I'm going to beat you up, Jacob.
That was brutal.
You're next,
stabbed him in the neck and threw him across the room.
He put one of the podcasting microphones through my jugular.
He broke off a piece of the fluorescent light.
I think it said he was like the national champion in it for a while, or like and then it said I think Mad Dog was was someone who taught it, like that's his like day job.
I also want to compliment the camera work in the movie.
Yeah,
like I mean, I want to ask you, Jacob, since you recently directed a film with an action scene.
I did.
It didn't have it was mostly in a oneer. Not to brag to people, but because I know you had them rehearse. It was a sword fight. I know you had them rehearse. Was there a meeting like with the DP? Did he come into like rehearsals and plan that? Did y'all have a shot list already planned before the choreography was set? How did that like process work?
We actually, I don't know that this is how it's done professionally, but we actually had someone on our team who had shot a short film that was that whole thing was a fight,
Yeah.
a fist fight. Shout out Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
And so she would come to the fight rehearsals, and our other friend Ikthon who, by the way, I feel like he really looks like Iko Uwais. like I feel like I was like, is that Ikthon? But he choreographed the fight and would train the actors. And we practiced like it's a 1 minute fight.
Yeah.
And we actually had to cut it down because it was taking too long to film. But what we have in the final movie is like a 1 minute fight, and we rehearsed it for like every night for a week, pretty much. Just that, 1.5 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so basically he would be training the actors, and then I would be with the producer and Katrina talking like logistics and safety. And she basically shot listed it and then worked with the DP to get it on the day.
Okay.
So she was almost like the cinematographer just for the fight scene.
For that scene.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah, because I was thinking just about like a lot of the camera work in this movie. Like the way the camera moves around and just catches the exact like perfect moment for a hit. Mm-hmm. Like I was wondering just about their process. I was like, did the choreographer just film it? Like did you just film the whole movie at that point? Just because like there were so many points where like, oh, there's a part where he slams them in, and then they cut to a shot completely above them that has a turn with it, and like the way, specifically the part that we mentioned where he grabs a guy, jumps, pulls him back, and it lands on the broken edge of a door frame. Just like every shot feels so like purposeful for it to catch like the exact perfect beat of the scene.
I think for stuff like that, they probably have to shot list and storyboard the hell out of it. And then it's probably not a lot of like we didn't get really any coverage on the fight scene because it was like
it was the oneer.
Yeah, it's like we have a oneer at the end, and then all the other stuff is like this is this moment. So it's like we need boom boom stab and so we got it here. We know it cuts to the last shot. Well, there was some stuff where we were worried, but it worked out.
Good.
But yeah, I think like it's probably like very little coverage, just getting this section of the fight, then this section of the fight, and cut it all together.
Yeah, very different than filming like a whole scene where it's like, all right, play the whole scene in the wide, and then we'll get a close up on you, and then a close up on you. But yeah, it's really admirable, especially compared to like, because I do remember at the time that this was. People were taking notice of it because it was unique action, and people were tired of the Jason Bourne-esque cinematography, which those movies do it well.
Because they invented it.
Yeah. I don't know about invented, but
they're
popularized
it.
Yeah. But yeah, and people were just sick of that stuff because like Taken 2 comes out a few months after this. Yeah. And that one is really bad about Taken 3. We're still a few years off, and that has a notorious clip of Liam Neeson jumping over a fence in 20 takes. 20 different camera setups.
There's like a half-second shot of like a dog showing up.
Yeah.
Trying to chase him. It's so funny.
I watched in film school. I've seen that clip in like 6 different classes.
Yeah.
I've used it as like an example of bad editing in an editing class. Do you remember? Oh yeah, we were in the one class at a freshman year, creativity in American culture. Do you remember he showed it in that?
Yes.
He showed it in that one. And it was like an example of people of like brain span, attention spans getting short because like shots get shorter, which I think is just they didn't know how to cover Liam Neeson's stunt double jumping over a fence.
Yeah.
And I think the cinematography enhances a lot of the action.
Absolutely. It's what like a lot of the shaky cam movies think they're doing.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah, it's like, because I think like shaky cam, obviously the complaint is that you can't see what's happening.
Yeah.
Or like you get like an idea of what's happening. Because this has like a shaky camera at times, but it's more like
it's more handheld.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like it's more like held with 2 hands than how some of them look like they're armed by a one-armed man.
Right. And you can still totally tell what's happening. And a lot of times it's more of like a rattle around the edges of frame rather than
or just like a little jerkiness in its moving.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded this cinematography in this one kind of reminded me of the cinematography in the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's one.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
I did know.
I said right.
You are correct.
But it reminded me of that because that one I saw a featurette and it was like they basically invented a new camera rig for it because like the cinematography in that is like very jerky and like moves very quickly but still smooth, and so it kind of reminded me of it in this movie.
James Gunn is a hack, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's ripped off the raid.
No, he built on it. But yeah, there's not a lot of plot to talk about. It's very very bare bones, but it works.
I mean, that guy is his brother.
Oh yeah, that's a big
twist.
Twist. Yeah, that was my only like real, because I love this movie and I think it's damn near perfect. My only real complaints about it are just that I'm someone who likes a lot of, even in my action movies,
Like emotion.
I like emotion and heart, and this one like has like his brother and his pregnant wife, but they don't. Each one of them only gets like a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brother gets a little more work.
Yeah.
They have that one big scene where they hash it out,
Mm-hmm.
which in my memory, I thought that his brother was like in deep cover.
Me too.
I thought that was my memory of him, but no, he's just like,
Yeah.
and they make it seem like he was a disappointment to their father, I guess he's just risen up in the drug world. So I was surprised. I was kept waiting for the rug to be pulled under. Just like, I've been in deep cover. You don't understand.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm so deep, even they don't know it.
I did really like, there was the line and then the callback line when he's trying to get Andy, Rama's brother, is trying to get him out. And
His name's Andy.
or it's like, maybe it's like Andi, but it's A-N-D-I.
So it's just weird. Rama,
Yeah.
Taka, Andy.
But he's like, you need to change your clothes and get out of here. And Rama goes about his cop outfit. He's like, this one fits just fine, which is really cool. It's basically because a lot of it too, there's like an undertone of like corruption, and it's like what it means to be a good cop, like Jaka and Rama. Then it's called back to, and I know I love a callback when
My man here loves a callback.
when they're leaving, and he's like, you could come back to my world or whatever, and Andy says, this one just fits or whatever, or something like that, which I liked.
I liked their relationship enough. It was a nice little emotional hook to add to the movie. Because it's very simple. What do you think of it?
I like how simple it was. I mean, I do like movies that have a lot of plot, but I also like movies that just
Feel like a
they just
video
let
game.
it go. Yeah, it just feels like a video game, and rules. I don't know. Flux.
Vibes.
Yeah. I did want to, because you mentioned the like conspiracy aspect of it with like, with specifically the lieutenant, who's a bastard.
Yes.
Because he leads them into this, and then we find out that no one knows that they're there. This was off the books.
Yeah, it's more or less a hit job.
Yeah. So if my understanding is correct, the lieutenant is probably paid by another drug dealer, kingpin, to take out his competitor, who's Tama.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the sequel builds on all that stuff because he mentions someone named Reza, who I think is in the second movie.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Which I think is funny. Like writers, like have their own little lore, even if there's no guarantee of a sequel. But
Right.
It seems definitely just like Raza. And then the sequel is like, all right, we gotta build on this one name mentioned.
I did really love the scene where they're like behind the wall and
Oh,
Mad
yeah.
Dog is like stabbing through the wall. That was like, in a movie with so much like crazy action, like really fast paced, like that was such a good like slow moment where you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
and then like hits him in the cheek.
Steps through and we reveal that he's like just sliced him in the cheek, but then it's like, oh, he's gonna pull the machete out and he's gonna see his blood there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even think
You
about
didn't think-
that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because then he puts his hand there and wipes the blood.
I didn't even
as
think
it
about
comes
that.
out.
That's
really,
awesome.
It was a really
great
cool
setup.
note, or
Yeah.
like a little detail. That was something I don't think I noticed until like the second or third watch. I was like, why did he grab the blade? And, because he wiped the blood.
Because he pulls the knife out of the wall and there's blood there. He's gonna know that they're there.
Oh,
amazing.
it's so gnarly.
Um,
I like the guy the one good guy who lives in this building.
yeah,
This
he's like,
one
I gotta
nice
get
person.
medicine to my sick wife. It's like, why are you living here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
get
Why
out
are you
of
living
here.
here out of anywhere? Why are you living in this drug kingpin.
Don't you know
house.
this is a place full of murderers? People
Yeah.
who would literally jump on a dime to
Yeah,
kill
literally,
a bunch
there's
of
a
people.
guy by the door watching TV with a machine gun next to him.
Yeah.
My theory was that he already lived there before the criminals
Maybe.
moved in.
Yeah, I imagine it's not like, it's a poverty thing of like, oh, where else
Yeah.
can we live?
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like it'd be cheap to live there. It seems like a drug kingpin would quite extort you.
Well, they mentioned that he lets them in pretty cheap.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, what'd y'all think of the villain, Tama? Martin, what'd you think of him?
I mean, he was cool. I like that scene at the beginning.
Oh, yeah,
where,
good setup.
yeah.
Yeah, he like shoots those 3 or 4 guys, and then
Mhm.
he gets to the last guy, and clicks, bullet. And so he's like, "Oh, let me go get another bullet," and then he goes
Yeah.
and then he grabs a hammer. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh my
Well,
god,
that's
like
such a-
we know immediately who we're dealing with.
But that's even such a good beat of like he opens the drawer and there's just a hammer there, and then the bullets
Yeah,
roll
and there's,
down.
like,
So he's
other
like, oh,
bullets.
they're just setting up the hammer or something, and then takes the
Yeah.
hammer and beats the guy.
Yeah.
Which again, there's a very similar scene in the movie Dread at the
Right.
beginning where she's torturing a bunch of cops or something.
Yeah. I need to rewatch Dread because I only seen it once, and I
Mhm.
remember wanting to like it more than I actually
I
did.
loved Dread.
Have we missed it, or are we gonna get to
We're
it?
gonna get to it
Nice. Okay.
in like October. That movie made no money. Wait, I think The Raid and Dread made like the same amount of money,
Yeah,
Man.
which is nuts.
Dread actually has like a bunch of big actors in it, or at least a couple. Like,
This is Carl Urban and Lena
Lena
Headey,
Headey, yeah.
from Game of Thrones.
yeah.
Martin, you gotta watch Game of Thrones.
I read the first book.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
Or most of it. What do you mean why?
They're
It's
so
good.
long.
I want to read. I wanted to read
I
it.
don't want to read.
I read the first book. I think I can't really remember if I finished it.
Mm.
I don't think I did. But I read the first book and then I watched the first season of the show, and then I learned that A, the book series never got finished, and B, the end of the TV show was bad. So
It's fine.
It's fine.
I don't know. I mean,
That's
I have no opinion on it. I haven't seen
controversial
it.
stance.
Yeah.
on
I'm
this
honestly,
podcast.
I could understand that it's probably not as bad as people say.
Nah.
And in 10 years, it probably will be reclaimed, and people will go
maybe.
back and be like, "Dude, y'all are so wrong about Game of Thrones, man." So
For real.
we'll see. Maybe I'll watch it then.
Where were we? I don't know.
Oh, the villain.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he was good. I feel like he kind of didn't have a ton to do by the end. Like he wasn't a very physical villain, but like because I guess the physical adversary is more Mad Dog.
Yeah.
But even then, I was thinking like weighing options of like I like the scene where we kind of realize that Mad Dog is this martial arts expert.
Uh-huh.
But it feels like he's not really set up for most of the movie, so it feels a little weird that he's the final big bad.
Uh-huh.
They say there's like Mad Dog, he's the muscle, and then the other guy, he's the brains.
Yeah,
so-
but then he still
Not a lot
also
of scenes
does
of him being
martial
brave.
arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, everyone in Asian does martial arts, Jake.
Oh, how silly of me. Yeah, I thought the Tama had a really good performance, but yeah, he is like kind of just a guy.
Yeah,
But I thought the actor did a good job of being creepy.
yeah.
Yeah, he had a great voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he was like, "Dude, do not kill me. There's more to this than you understand."
Whereas the original, like at least as I imagining, is like, "There's more to this you don't understand."
yeah, he actually was really cool.
Yeah,
He's
wish I
very
could have heard
soft
him.
spoken.
He was not soft spoken in the dub.
I still can't believe it was dumb.
I'm sure that honestly there was probably like repeat voice actors because there are some characters.
I imagine.
That, like,
I think
very
with those
similar.
dubs they do. Oh, I did want to talk about in relation to Tama and with the lieutenant. There's the one cliche that I always get annoyed with because the lieutenant has had no problem shooting everyone this whole way through, every single person, and then gets to Tama and then is like, "All right, I'm taking you in."
Yeah, yeah.
Like just shoot him, end it right there. But I guess he is like, well, because then he shoots another cop that's with him.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really get why.
I think because in his mind, he's like, I can't have any cops around because they're going to try to do this right. And he's trying to do it for a power play. He's like,
I guess so.
oh, if I take down Tama, then I'll be the top dog. But Tama tells him, this is bigger than me. If you kill me, do you think they're really going to forgive you?
They said, it's like, I'm a good soldier. They sent you in here to die.
Yeah. And he does. Well, actually, no, he
He-
gets
like,
arrested. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he does. Yeah, he
Yeah.
does get arrested. There's the scene of it. I was curious because he finds a revolver, and he shoots a lot of people right away. I was counting his bullets, and it was right. It was 6.
That's awesome.
Oh.
I love it when movies do that. That's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. There was another moment where someone comes at Rama with a revolver, and then he turns it on them, shoots them, then checks, and there's only 1 bullet, and he just throws it aside.
Yeah, that's a good bullet. You feel like he'd hold that.
Yeah,
on
I
for,
was.
like, the
And there'd be
big
one
final
moment
fight.
where he really needs 1 bullet, and
Yeah.
but then maybe they were like, that's too John McClane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and what did y'all think of the fight with Mad Dog? The 2-on-1 fight,
It's
brothers versus dog.
it's pretty awesome. I kind of figured that the brother was gonna be dead by the end of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you think?
Because, well, like, he's hanging there. Mad Dog is, like, wailing at him. And we already know Mad Dog, like, hits hard, killed that other
Yeah.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Killed
Poor
the captain.
Jaka.
yeah. And so the brother's hanging there, Mad Dog's hitting him, and then gets taken down, starts hitting him even more. And it's like, I really thought that he wasn't going to make it out of there. But
Yeah.
I'm glad he did.
Mm-hmm. It's a good fight. I think I agree. I think I remember watching it originally about just like by that point I was like tired. I
Yeah.
guess it just got to a point of like okay, another fight
Yeah.
as we talked about earlier. But watching it this time, it's still a cool fight.
Yeah, I will say I think it could benefit from being just like a little bit shorter because
Mm,
I feel like it does have really cool moments, and when they get him at the end and the music
Oh,
swells,
yeah.
it's like
that is cool.
it's a really great moment.
and the fluorescent tube through
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
neck,
he's still
and
going.
It sticks there for a bit, and then they have to like tear
Yeah.
it apart.
I do love Mad Dog's signature, like, finisher, where he, like,
Mhm.
grabs them and, like, breaks their neck.
Yeah.
But, like, like, both times it's, like, so slow and brutal. You're like, oh, my God, just, like, please, like, get out. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a great, like, little tension moment. And
Yeah.
they were doing some crazy combos. There was one move I think that Rama does on Mad Dog. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, what a combo!
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, he does something. It's like
So much of the martial arts was like that.
Yeah, there's one moment where I think they really just had to do it. Like, maybe they had a mat down that they painted out or something,
Mm,
but where Andy is holding Mad Dog from behind,
mm.
and Mad Dog is like a shorter guy, so I don't think he
Yeah.
can just flip him. But
Yeah.
he pulls his legs up and then uses his whole weight as a
Yeah.
like a trebuchet and throws Andy over him and onto his back in one move. And I was like, what the?
That was a lot of those where you're just like, oh, how'd they do that?
Yeah, it's
like,
insane.
these guys, I think I did read that a lot of people like did get hurt. Doing
I
these
imagine.
things.
I mean, same thing with like Jackie Chan movies though. Like
Oh, yeah.
people are
that
always
would be him.
Yeah, usually Jackie's the one getting his head caved in or whatever. Oh, there's another movie from Thailand actually called Chocolate. From probably around the same time.
Starring Johnny Depp.
Oh boy.
And it also has like insane stuff like how did they do this? Like there's stuff where people are like do like a triple flip over someone else and then manage to kick them in the head at the same time. And you're like, this is insanity.
Oh, I can do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you did that to me the other day.
Yeah. What's up, Jacob?
You did it, but then ended with a high five.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pulled up Eco's IMDb just to see what else he's been in. He was in The Raid 2, Star Wars. Have either of you seen the movie Mile 22?
Yes.
The Mark Wahlberg film.
not-
You've seen it?
It's not good. I watched it
That
for
movie
Iko
sucks.
Uwais. Yeah.
I watched it for Eco too. That movie sucks.
Yeah.
Ass. That's worse than Dark Shadows.
Uh-huh.
That movie is you hire one of the best martial artists you can and then film the movie like like absolute dog shit. They film all the fight scenes like it's Jason Bourne, except it feels like it's being filmed with the heaviest camera imaginable by someone with one arm. Because it's just like I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
It's the biggest waste of talent I've ever seen.
He's in a few good like other Indonesian movies that aren't by Gareth Evans. Like I forget which is which. There's one called A Headshot and one called
I see that. Fistful of Vengeance. It's this year.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. But
Have you
he's in.
seen Man of Tai Chi?
Yes.
Keanu Reeves' only directing effort.
Oh.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I forgot he directed that.
That movie's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that
it's
movie.
good.
Keanu Reeves is the villain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. There's another movie called Night Comes for Us or something
Yeah.
like that. and he's the,
Okay, yeah, I couldn't see it on the IMDb. I didn't know where that was.
yeah,
It's like, he's definitely in that.
and Iko Uwais, I think, is the villain actually.
Oh, really?
Or one of the villains, which is cool, like because he's usually
That's
like
fun.
the leading man.
Yeah.
And I think Jaka is the hero of that one.
Oh, that's interesting. I
Yeah.
want to see that. I keep hearing good things.
That one is like has really cool action, but the story is even less of a. It's not less, but it's kind of cockamamie.
Yeah.
So it's like you're really just watching it for the action.
But then, do you also remember a great Eco role in 2019 where he's the villain of Stuber?
I had totally forgotten, and I love Stuber.
Jacob, #1 Stuber fan.
Now I need to rewatch it because I don't remember that.
Yeah, he's the villain. I just remember it because he kills Karen Gillan at the beginning of that movie.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, Dave Bautista's partner, Karen Gillan. And then there's the whole part where he's being chased at the end through a sriracha factory. That's a weird movie. Better than it deserved to be, though.
Yeah, well, it's because I feel like the action comedy genre doesn't
Yeah.
really exist anymore. Like a movie where the action is sweet and has actually good comedy.
Yeah.
Like, there are very few left.
Well, I can say in terms of Eco in action movies, he is in The Expendables 4.
Does
There's
that
a fourth one?
exist?
Yes, they're coming out with that.
Oh.
When is that coming out? Next year?
Amazing.
Is
That
it
was Expendables was always those movies that like my friends would talk about, but I just
Yeah.
had like no like,
Yeah.
context for any.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, 50 Cent's in it. Megan Fox is in it.
Oh boy.
What, Tony Jaa's in it.
Oh
Hell yeah.
dude.
That's cool. That's
the
cool.
best, one of the best Fast and Furious, like minor antagonists.
Yeah, he's good in Furious 7.
Dude, Furious 7 was
It's
so hard.
the best joke. Oh my god. I like that the logic of Fury 7 is that, oh yeah, Paul Walker could take
Yeah, he
him.
could fight Tony
He
Jaa.
could- he could fight Tony Jaa and survive.
Yeah, if Paul Walker in real life, if Paul Walker ever tried to fight Tony Jaa,
Oh my god.
It would be
That would be 10 seconds and Paul Walker would have been dead faster.
Aren't they in? I feel like they fight in like a little car too. Like in
They
a
fight-
truck.
fight in a
it's
van.
a truck that's
Yeah.
driving off of a cliff.
Yeah.
and they like
They're like,
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
God, it's
close
crazy.
quarters
No, it's
fighting.
good.
And then they fight later again in the movie.
those movies are so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, especially Furious 7. Oh,
That's
That's
the only one I've seen.
Really?
It's the best
Oh my
one.
god.
It's the
New
best one.
podcast where we just rewatch Fast and Furious.
And
But yeah, that's all I really have to say. There was a Wilhelm scream, I know.
There was.
Was
yeah.
there? I did not hear it.
Early on when they're like, I think fighting, I think it's like right when things start to hit the fan and they break into a room and someone like runs at a cop and they just grab him and throw him out a window.
Oh.
And you hear a little Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
Jacob, how did this match your memory or expectations?
Well, I've seen the raid many times, and just like at all the other times, it was badass. I will say though, I feel like maybe the more I watch it, the more the, like just plot scenes are less interesting
Yeah.
than the fights.
I get that.
But yeah, still 4 stars on Letterboxd.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Martin?
I mean it. Honestly, it kind of exceeded my expectations.
Oh, really?
A little bit. I mean, I knew it was gonna be good. I knew he was gonna like
Mhm.
it. But just the action was so like, I don't know, man.
Mhm.
It was unlike anything, really.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I'm excited for you to watch The Raid.
Yes,
too.
I know. Me too. I know. Like, there's some movies going into it. I was like, I know I'm probably gonna give that like
Yeah.
4.5, 5 stars.
Jacob, should I give away the one really weird thing about The Raid 2? The beginning.
Wait.
Do you remember? Should I spoil it? It happens in like the first 5 minutes.
Up to Martin, because I don't remember.
Do you want to know something that happens in the first 5 minutes?
First 5 minutes, sure.
Have you seen Alien 3?
No.
Okay, well, they kind of Alien 3 a character where they kill a character who's very important to the emotional journey of the movie prior.
Oh.
They kill the brother very
Oh.
early on.
Wow.
Oh, I don't remember
Man.
that.
Yeah, they do. That I was thinking about like that's so bizarre because he's like their relationship is so integral to this movie, but then it's like they need some motivation for Rama to
Right.
go in deep cover.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that was
not spoiling.
I mean, that makes
anything,
sense.
but
It's like the inciting incident.
yeah, they need something, and they're not gonna kill his pregnant wife.
Yeah. That was something interesting Blake said actually was that when Jaka died, he was like, what? They just killed the main character?
What?
And I was like, I felt like Rama was obviously the main character.
yeah, what the hell?
But then he was like, I guess because he thought he was the leader and everything, but he was like, but like we have spent a lot of time with Rama, and I was like, so I just thought that was
Jaka
interesting.
disappears for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
in there.
Yeah.
When he's just hanging out with the boss and that other guy.
Yeah, I completely. I was like, where are they?
Yeah.
Like, where have they been during all this?
Somebody's apartment.
Yeah.
Chilling out.
But I did think so. I don't know that was the point, and like I didn't read it that way. But it was the idea of having an action movie where the main character just fucking dies, and then another guy becomes the main character is interesting.
It's like a Chungking Express of action.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's like
the
we're not
Psycho
following
of
this
action
story.
movies.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like a movie I haven't seen, Executive Decision. Have you heard about this movie? It's a movie with Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal.
Sounds badass.
Because on the poster, it's Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal, and I think Kurt Russell may be like the president or something. But they're on an airplane, and there's like a plane hijack another plane that's attached to them, and then I think Steven Seagal is like, "I gotta save you, Mr. President," and then like blows up the bottom plane, and then you see him like fly out and die. And that's in, like the first 10 minutes.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy.
Yeah,
I
Steven,
love Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell rules.
Steven Seagal is the worst action
I
star.
hate that guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Steven Seagal when watching this movie. I think because I was noticing like because Mad Dog is like so small, like Rama, he's pretty small, but Mad Dog especially is like so tiny. And I was like, yeah, I guess for martial arts, like you need to be like close and compact. That's why Steven Seagal looks so dumb. He's like 6 foot, and you just see him like slapping people's hands away.
No, yeah, he looks terrible.
He never picks up like his legs.
Yeah, he's like always sitting down. I
Yeah.
think that's like part of his thing is like he doesn't ever
I
want to
wanna
stand up.
sit.
Yeah.
That's why he's never been invited to the Expendables.
Yeah, no, please,
Oh
God.
God. Yeah, I feel like all the other action stars just like hate Steven Seagal.
Yeah, was it somebody was on set with Steven Seagal, like some martial art
Yeah.
expert, and Steven Seagal was like, I don't know, taunting him, and
Yeah.
the martial artist was like, dude, like I could flatten you, like don't taunt me.
Yeah.
And Seagal was like, no, let's fight, like right here, like I know I'll win, like I'll beat you in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then 10 seconds later, Steven Seagal is passed out and has shit himself because he got his ass beat so bad.
Shit himself. But yeah, and then I guess the last thing I have in my notes I want to talk about this movie is because I titled my notes. I put The Raid, underlined it, and then the first bullet point is redemption? ? Exclamation point.
Right.
Because I remember when I told you, like when you were pulling up the movie, you were like, "Oh, this is the sequel, right?" Because it's redemption.
Yeah, and also sometimes it's not called Raid Redemption.
Yeah,
like,
it
on
was
HBO
called the
Max.
Raid. It's called The Raid Redemption in America.
Oh, that's the dub. Raid Redemption is the dubbed one.
No, that was just the title in America.
Was
Because
it?
my copy
mine
still
also-
says The
yeah.
Raid Redemption.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That was just like a dumb subtitle someone threw on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what genius Hollywood executive
Who
said.
gets redeemed
said-
exactly?
I guess the brother.
Not really.
Not really. I guess not really. Rama, he's good from the start.
Yeah,
It's not really redemption.
Mad Dog.
Yeah, when he dies,
Yeah,
when he dies a villain.
No, he died a hero. You
A
didn't
villain
see
of,
it, but he repented all of a
Oh
sudden.
yeah, I didn't see. Moments, seconds, while his throat is being ripped out. But yeah, that feels like I don't know. That's so dumb. Because just call the movie The Raid.
Yeah.
Like why redemption? What is being redeemed?
It's one of those like there are two trends in American titling of films that I hate, and one of them
Has to have a subtitle.
yeah, one of them is the stupid subtitle that's usually just some R word like Pacific Rim. Oh, that's Uprising.
Uprising.
But like everything's always like resurgence,
Independence
Yeah.
Day, resurgence.
revengeance,
Right.
returnance, reclamation.
Return of the King.
Yeah.
Hate that.
No,
hate
that one's badass.
Yeah, why do they have all these subtitles on the Lord of the Rings?
Why not just Lord of the
Just
Rings
call it-
1, 2,
yeah,
and
it's called
3?
1, 2, 3. Make it clean.
I
And
do
Hobbit is Hobbit. Lord of the Rings -2. Lord of the Rings -1. Lord of the Rings 0.
I really enjoy when movies have the ball to just be blank 2.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't see that anymore. Now it's like, yeah, so we're in the Legacy sequel.
Oh, yeah.
I've complained
'cause-
about this a lot. So it's so confusing because new Scream movie should be Scream 5,
Yeah.
but instead it's just called Scream.
Yeah, and that's
the
what
dumbest. That's the dumbest trend in horror movies because Halloween did it, and no one put up a fuss.
Because Halloween was already fucked up.
All
Yeah.
the continuity
They're
was
naming
already
conventions.
fucked. That's
and,
the third movie called Halloween in that franchise.
and there's like 40 movies in Halloween.
and one of them
Yeah.
is just about witches.
Oh yeah,
It's
Halloween
awesome.
3,
Season of the Witch.
kind of unironically the best one. My favorite.
We should do another podcast where we go through all the Halloween because I think there legitimately are like over 20.
I don't think that many. I think there's that many. Like there's at least like 13 Friday the 13th. There's probably like at least 10 Halloweens.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can name. Okay, got Halloween. You got Halloween 2. You got Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Unrelated to the first two. Halloween 4, which I guess they acknowledge the continuity of Halloween 3, Return of Michael Myers. Halloween 5. Halloween
Town.
Something. Curse of Michael Myers, maybe? I think that one has like a cult. There may have been a 6th one.
The son of Michael Myers.
H2. Then Halloween H2O, which was Halloween 20 years later, which is basically what they did with the new Halloween.
40 years later.
Yeah. And then Halloween Resurrection, which is a sequel to H2O. And then they did the Rob Zombie remake, just called Halloween. So second movie called Halloween. And then they did a sequel to it called Halloween 2. So second movie called Halloween 2. And then they didn't do anything. And then they did the direct sequel just called Halloween. So third movie called Halloween. And then they called it Halloween Kills.
The direct sequel to Halloween is Halloween.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I hate that so much.
And it's like, all right, I finished watching Halloween. Now time to watch Halloween.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. My other least favorite titling thing is that kind of thing where it's like the new Predator, the Predator. Just putting the.
I kind of like that one. I don't know why.
Or the Suicide Squad. Literally
Right.
2 years
Just
later.
call it.
Batman.
Honestly, they should have just called it Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah.
I would have been.
Or they should have just called it. That's one where you could do Suicide Squad like Redemption or something.
That actually would have been funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Would've been kinda funny and
I don't
not
know, because I was complaining, or I was kind of complaining about the Suicide Squad, but then when I saw the title pop up of the Suicide Squad, it was like,
Yeah.
that other one, we're not gonna
Right.
talk about it.
Which,
This is the cool one. They should have called it the
good.
cool Suicide Squad.
The good one. Don't watch the other one. It's bad.
The new Suicide Squad.
Sorry to anyone who may be
brand new
listening who
Suicide
is
Squad.
a Suicide Squad defender, but you're wrong.
You're a big Snyder DCEU.
Yeah, I'm a DCEU defender, and even I will say Suicide Squad and Batman versus Superman are pretty bad. I like Batman versus Superman miles
I
ahead
could have
of
a whole
Suicide Squad,
I
though.
could have a whole podcast. If you think I was riled up talking about Dark Shadows, wait till you get me talking about Batman v Superman.
Batman v Superman is so disappointing.
Batman v Superman is incomprehensible.
It is impossible to
I
understand.
will
You need
say.
you need to have the red string on the chalkboard to figure out what's going on in that movie.
like, it's
and
okay.
even then it doesn't make
It's
sense.
like, it all makes sense because at the exact moment that Superman dies in Batman v Superman is the exact moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League that he's revived.
that Steppenwolf shows up, dude.
Oh my God.
Martha.
Because Steppenwolf, because the mother box. All right, I'm not getting into it.
When we get to a Snyder movie, you're
Yeah,
gonna
when
have
we
to
get to
come
Man
back
of
on.
Steel, I will.
Well, we're
that's in
Man of Steel's next
2014.
year.
Yeah.
13.
13?
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
2013.
Yeah, we get
Yeah,
to Man
because
of Steel.
it came out I think a little bit before
Yeah.
Pacific Rim.
What a roller coaster that DCEU and Zack Snyder have been on
Jesus.
since.
It's actually fascinating. You could do a whole
Yeah.
separate podcast about that.
Oh, I guess I had said last thing about the Raid, but there is one last thing I want to mention. So there's an American remake being made of the Raid.
No.
Being produced by Michael Bay.
Okay. Ambulance's own.
Apparently, the Gareth Evans, the original creator, is attached in some capacity.
Starring.
Okay, let's see. It's being made for Netflix. I'm reading a Deadline
Oh, no.
article.
Always
about
a
it.
good sign.
Sources tell Deadline that Netflix has come aboard a new reimagining of Gareth Evans' cult classic The Raid, tapping Patrick Hughes. What the hell did he do?
They should tie it into Red
look it up.
Notice.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome. The Raid, Red Notice.
Oh my God. The Rock
Extraction.
versus Iko Uwais.
That's a name I've heard before.
Director of The Hitman's Bodyguard and The Expendables 3.
Oh God, no, shut it down. Everything I
it's,
hear is just worse.
Co-class Raid tapping Patrick Hughes to direct with Michael Bay on board to produce. This sounds horrible.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. The best thing about that was Michael Bay's producing. So.
I don't know. I could not see Michael Bay doing The Raid.
No, I know. It's not even a good thing. It's the best thing about that project.
Oh my God. sad.
Why?
I do know there was Joe Carnahan was tapped to do that for a while. This has been floating around Hollywood for a long time.
Yeah, because once they see something good that's not from America,
Yeah.
they're like, oh man,
We
let's
could-
do that, but worse.
Well, because there's like apparently a Train to Busan American remake that's coming.
The first one is perfect.
Yeah.
And it translates perfectly. It's not like
I
one of those
know.
that it's like, American
won't get this
audiences
in the
wouldn't like
culture.
it. Right.
Yeah.
It's like it translates like perfectly.
Yeah. You know what's one of the most bizarre American remakes that I saw on IMDb? I haven't heard a word about, so I feel it's something that they like announced and then just like haven't touched.
Is it Parasite?
Parasite. Well, I was curious about because it was Bong Joon-ho who wanted to do it. Your Name is got announced as getting a live action American remake.
Why?
Weird.
Just read the damn subtitles.
Yes.
Exactly. Your Name is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And just to be like, we could do it
We
better.
can do
got-
it better.
Hold on a minute. I can't relate to this shit because it's not Nat Wolf and
Yeah.
Cara Delevingne.
Yeah, it's a cartoon. It's tunes.
Hold on. I'm gonna need to see this with Sydney Sweeney and Justice Smith.
Oh my god! Can we get Vanessa Hudgens in this?
Yeah.
How many years do you think it's going to take Hollywood to make Worst Person in the World American remake?
Oh, they're trying to make that right now with Dakota Johnson, I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does. Look
You know
like
what?
it.
If it's Dakota Johnson, I'm curious.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it won't be. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe
They're
it
gonna
won't be
try.
terrible.
Someone's
but,
gonna try.
Yeah, but just again another
When
movie
are
that
we gonna-
translates
when are we gonna-
perfectly.
When are we gonna get a Drive My Car American remake? Do they drive on what side of the road do they drive on in Japan?
I don't know.
I think it's the same.
Okay, so it translates perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was an English film or
Right.
some
Yeah.
shit.
When are we gonna start remaking like English movies?
Like-
Downton Abbey.
Yeah. Oh, new Downton Abbey movie
Finally.
coming out.
Oh my
Let me
God.
tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Excited.
Pump. Big
Love
summer
it.
release.
Yes. Yeah.
Maggie
Downton
Smith
Abbey
I hear
goes.
I hear it's a new era.
Yeah. Downton Abbey goes on vacation.
Oh, looks like we go into the Riviera.
Go to our colonies.
Hollywood has come to Downton.
Yeah.
The trailer is so funny. Was he watching in front of the Northmen?
Yeah, I honestly have like no concept of what Downton Abbey
Yeah.
is, and like it seems like it's just people talking, and
Oh, yeah.
but it's so much hype. It's like,
Oh my
No,
god.
dude, it's good.
Because
Let me
that's the
tell
thing
you, Downton
about
Abbey's
like,
good.
oh, Lord Bridgerton has decided that Lady Eversworth will sit next to him at the dinner table.
let me
tonight.
tell you.
good golly.
This is the thing. You'd think that like, old British gentry would be like, boring as hell. No,
Yeah.
they make a big deal out of everything.
I
So like, if
imagine
someone's
it's fun,
fork
but it's
is on
fun
the
to make
wrong
fun.
spot, then it's like,
Oh
oh,
my God.
man, you could spend a whole episode on that. Dude. It's like, well, it's not like Seinfeld, but there's a lot
Everything's
of
like
like,
Seinfeld.
there's a lot of faux pas.
Oh my god.
Isn't there stuff? I imagine there's things that's like, oh, the Lord Ephraim has slept with the scullery wench from down the hall.
Well, there is, one of the. I don't want to spoil anything in case y'all
mean,
become Downton Abbey heads.
is it
won't.
streaming? I gotta get on this.
I probably. I
Is
don't
it
know.
is it a
My
BB?
parents have the DVDs if you want.
Oh my god.
Um,
But you gotta go. What should we, as a bit, go see Downton Abbey: A New Era?
yes, with no context. I'll be
With
the
no
the
context,
resident
yeah.
like Downton
Oh my
Abbey
God. That'd be
like
funny.
translator.
Maybe
I'll
it
help you
stands
out.
alone, you know.
Yeah, I hear it's pretty easy to get it.
Yeah.
It's not like what's the continuity?
Yeah.
Another our good friend Maggie Smith is
Yeah.
a friend of the podcast.
No
Yeah.
longer racist.
Hopefully, I don't know. It's
Well,
in like the
she's-
40s or something.
I don't think she's
30s.
racist, but I think she's very.
Classist.
She's like, we must continue the ways we always had. She doesn't like change.
Yeah.
but
She
I
would
think
not support an interracial marriage, is what you're saying.
she never says that.
She would never travel to India to get a hip replacement, is what you're saying.
No, she probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know how we got from the raid knife scene to Downton Abbey.
They're
Quite similar. We should do a double feature of the raid 2 and Downton Abbey. A
Oh,
new era.
well, get ready for Downton Abbey, a newer era where they go to Indonesia.
Oh
and
my
they,
God.
They move into what
They
they
went to a
think.
slum of Jakarta.
Yeah, they
Both
think
of-
it's a nice place, but it's actually the raid building.
Oh my god.
The Raid and Downton Abbey, both films about people throwing down in an old building.
The raid is coming to Downton. All right. This has been another episode of Feature Flashback. Martin, our first ever guest. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter mostly. I tweet occasionally, and I like to think they're funny. You can follow me at Martin Hay. That is MAR10HAY. That's also my Instagram. You can add me on Steam, I guess, if you want. Angry Dwarf 411.
Did you have a fun time on the podcast? Would you tell your friends to come on?
I would. I think it was a great experience. I'm honored to be your first guest.
Aw.
Oh, yes.
great.
We have some other guests we got to get
Yes.
on. And yeah, well, are you going to tell your friends to watch, to listen?
Yes.
Not watch. Don't watch.
I told my mom I was going to be
Oh,
on
really?
this, actually. And I think
I'll
she'll be
have to-
thrilled to realize, if she makes it to the end, that we spend 5 minutes talking about Downton Abbey.
You have to tell her to make it to the end.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
I did this on purpose, actually, too.
Am I going to have to edit out any curse words you say for her?
I think you're fine.
Okay. Hi, Mrs. Hay.
Hi, Miss Hay.
What's up, Mom?
Jacob,
Yes.
where can people find you?
I am at Jacob Sanger, SAENGER at Twitter, or on Twitter.
On Twitter.
And
Your email?
I'm also at Jacob Sanger on Letterboxd. And on Instagram, I am at Commander in Beef with underscores in between the words.
And
I tweet about Nancy a lot, the comic
Yes,
strip from the
yeah.
40s.
you have been doing that a lot. A lot less Japanese mascots, a lot more Nancy recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The algorithm has been giving me less mascots and more Nancy.
Yeah, you're in your Nancy era.
You can find me on Twitter at cspalton. Go like my one tweet about the thumb thumbs from Spy Kids. Would you love me if I looked like it? And you can find me on Letterboxd at CJS Films. And then...
But yeah, I just finished my thesis film. It's a family fantasy comedy action adventure.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, better than Dark Shadows.
Oh my god.
It's
Oh my
called-
god. Give Jacob $150 million to make Dark Shadows.
Oh my gosh, the things I would do. I like
More
it-
sex scenes.
It's my more graphic. It's my dream
Show more.
to bring back the historical epic genre, because I feel like even with stuff like The King or Outlaw King or The Last King, they all like none of them are doing it like Gladiator or Braveheart. Like it's just we need to bring that back. But anyway, that's what I would do with $150 million. But yeah, it's called Alfie and Gully's Holy Chalice Quest, and it's
You can find it on Instagram.
yeah. And one day it'll be viewable, but until
Yeah,
then,
one day you'll see it win best original short at the Oscars.
yeah,
Best live action short film.
maybe we'll make it to South by. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably gonna shoot myself in the foot saying this, but I when I've been to South by and watched short films, I go, sure, they have bigger budgets than me and maybe cleaner look and color, but story wise, I feel like we're right there.
Mm. They don't have the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Thank you for joining. Oh wait, what's next week?
Oh, what
I
is
don't even
next
know.
week?
Wait, what is next week? What's
Next week is
Your
Avengers
mom.
2 and
Oh, yeah. Of course.
second best exotic Marigold Hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, next weekend. Big one.
Oh,
Big movie.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Behold. F4?
Fast and Furious?
No.
What?
There's a different
A2?
F4 A2 Battleship.
It's Battleship!
Oh, the Taylor Kitsch.
The Taylor Kitsch Rihanna starring Battleship.
You're telling me that's not Channing Tatum in Battleship?
No, that's Taylor
That's
Kitsch.
not.
And then isn't what's his name? Jesse Plemons.
Yeah,
in that
he's
too.
in it.
Yeah,
He's
it's
in
a
it
Friday
too.
Night Lights reunion.
It
movie.
is.
Is
But
he
it
also
is-
John Carter?
Yes.
Yes.
Bad year for him.
Yeah.
Same year.
So
Great
he was
year.
trying to get out of Friday Night Lights, and it just didn't work.
Hollywood was trying to make him happen,
Yeah.
and the people revolted.
Honestly, he could have been good. He's the best character in Friday Night Lights, but
Yeah.
the projects he chose were not good.
Oh,
John
his
Carter's
poor agent.
based.
Or his agent must have sucked.
They
Yeah.
need to open John Carter World at Disney.
Next to Avatar World. But yeah, it'll be Battleship, and then the Sacha Baron Cohen
The Dictator?
comedy. It is The Dictator.
Oh, I actually watched that semi-recently for the first time.
I
so-
remember seeing the beginning of that movie, and I did watch Battleship several times. So excited for that one. Thank you for joining us. Special thanks.
Wait,
to...
I talked over Martin's goodbye.
Wait.
I feel bad.
Martin, say your goodbyes.
Goodbye. Also, I forgot to mention my letterbox is the same as my Twitter and Instagram.
Okay. No one cares. Thank you for watching. Special thanks to Sheldon Scholl for our epic music.
Yes.
Join us next week. Watch movies. Flashback more often. Feature Flashback.